So if we talk about the young generation, a question for both of you, should we start teaching in school maybe with a topic like ecological awareness? To start teaching that in school?
I mean, of course you could do that, but I think it would be better to include that aspect in all other subjects, so that we show that everything is connected.
I am not a bigot. I am a good global citizen and believe all the socially acceptable things that the good grown-ups at the big banks tell the TV screens to tell me to believe.
Welcome to the planet, my dears. Wipe your feet. Come on in. No more need for coats in your mother's den.
What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because if where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
Then the doors burst open. The king and queen walk through. There's our precious daughter. If they did not know what love meant, who would?
I am so happy that Prince Philip, friend of Jimmy Savile and father of philanthropist and champion of science Jeffrey Epstein's close friend Prince Andrew, and enlightened scientists like Bill Nye will come up with solutions to the hashtag climate crisis. I believe when the TV tells me that science says the earth is dying because of climate change, which is why I became a vegan activist, but I wish we knew how to stop it so poor Prince Philip and Greta can have their futures back.
Growing population is a problem, but notice that the rate that the population is growing, human population is growing, is slowing down. It's apparently raising the standard of living of women and girls, people like you. As women and girls get better educated, they have fewer kids, and the kids they do have more resources, so they're better taken care of and they are more successful.
And I think that was the biggest aha to Bill and me when we got into this work, is we asked ourselves, of course, the same hard-nosed question you'd ask, which is, if you get into this work and you start to save these children, will women just keep overpopulating the world? And thank goodness the converse is absolutely true, because they don't do that.
In this year's annual letter, Melinda and I take the toughest questions we get asked and give our answers. One that's come up for a long time is, as we make the world healthier, is the population going to get so big that feeding everybody and maintaining the environment is going to be impossible? We find that in every country of the world, this is repeated. The population growth goes down as we improve health. That the faster we improve health, the faster family size goes down. And so we can feel great about saving those lives.
Having a child means that your net carbon output per year in tons is 59. From one child is 59. Going on a vegan diet removes 0.8. So if you have a child, that's literally making up for like 70 vegans.
That's exactly
you know, if you go car free, if I live in Manhattan and I don't drive, I am the equivalent of 3 vegans. If I wash my clothes with cold water, if I hang them to dry, and I recycle everything, that's the equivalent of 1 vegan diet.
I am so glad my educated wife knew better than to have children. It gives me more time to become a better version of myself. If we did have kids, she wouldn't have this great job and I couldn't have gotten the vasectomy from Dr. Gregor that her corporate health insurance paid for. My wife's boyfriend suggested I take a break from playing my Nintendo Switch and doing hardcore vegan activism in YouTube comments a few times a week to meditate or exercise, but even my spiritual leader, Sadhguru, is concerned about the hashtag climate crisis. Maybe he has a viable solution to this real and not made up crisis that is going to make everything bad happen if we don't do what the good grown-ups in government, banks, and the media tell us to do.
Unless you reduce the human footprint on the planet, there is no solution for anything. Then they asked me a brilliant question, how do you reduce the human footprint? I said, you have to reduce the number of feet. That's the only way. So, Right now, it doesn't matter what others think. All of you who are here and those of you who are hanging out with me, we can take it upon ourselves that we will not push the human population. You can have a dog.
He promoted this on television, and he went around all the agricultural shows, and he had I mean, it was a one-man thing, and it had a tremendous effect. It reduced it from 3% to 1%. But one of the things he said to the farmers, he said, look, you don't need all these children, it's ridiculous. You've got to feed them all, clothe them all, educate them all, and look after their health. So have a few, and then if you want to go on entertaining yourself, have a vasectomy. Oh, yes. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'll organize it for you. We'll have buses running into Bangkok on the King's birthday, very auspicious day. And you will go into, and he took over a whole lot of school halls and that sort of thing. And he showed me a photograph of all these beds and everything, and people went in, and I said, but how did they take it? Well, he said they didn't like being seen to have the operation. Oh, I said, really, how do you do that? I had visions of, putting up. Oh, he said, it's quite simple, I blindfolded them.
Hey, what's that gadget?
Global
Television?
citizens breaking news. I am not a bigot. I am a good global citizen who takes the recommended daily dosage of vitamin TV to keep me in a state of anxiety, agitation, confusion and learned helplessness. I am not a science denier. I trust the experts. I do not deny science. The good grown-up experts from science on the TV interrupt this totally real and not made up #climate crisis to bring you information from a more important and totally real death threat from a global pandemic virus. We must all listen to the experts from science and obey the TV and participate in this totally necessary and justified, mandatory panic.
Spoiler alert, you're a scientist.
What I will say of this virus, I think we're in the middle of a massive experiment worldwide. And that
where
is...
are the guinea pigs?
Maybe. The experiment is, will people listen to scientists? In this case, referring to medical professionals.
Medical professionals.
In this particular case.
Say Anthony Fauci over at Allergy and Infectious Disease.
For example, and are you washing your hands? And are you taking these precautions? These are warnings offered by scientists. And
for our own good.
For our own good. And I'd be interesting if we all paid attention to what scientists say, obeying the recommendations of scientists. It's an interesting experiment we're in the middle of.
Report by Johns Hopkins researchers and said that as many as 6,000 children a day could die over a 6-month period from preventable causes because of healthcare system disruptions caused by the coronavirus. Our next guest, Greta Thunberg, recently gave $100,000 she had received for her climate change activism to UNICEF to help protect kids from the pandemic. She's also helping raise even more money for UNICEF. She recently revealed she believes she may have had coronavirus after returning home from working in Europe. She said her symptoms were very mild, and her father, who had traveled with her, also got sick. We spoke to Greta Thunberg earlier this afternoon.
During this crisis, during any crisis, it is always the most vulnerable people who are hit the hardest, and that is children.
Because there's so much focus on coronavirus, there's a lot of kids around the world who may die of things that are very treatable, but because medical systems are overwhelmed, it's going to impact children in ways that a lot of people don't really anticipate.
Coronavirus! I have to say as well, I mean, Anderson and I have traveled around the world and seen the amazing work UNICEF has done in various places. I mean, it really is a terrific organization. Children's Emergency Fund.
I am so scared. If the extra non-essential people don't all obey science and stop working, wear masks, obey social distancing guidelines from science, and stay home until the good grown-ups tell us it's safe again, everything bad will happen always and all the people will die. The models clearly show that this is necessary and we have no choice but to listen to the experts from science. I am not selfish. I am a good global citizen who does not hate children and grandma. I will listen to what this brave, grassroots 16-year-old human shield tells me to do. I am not a bigot. The science is settled. We must accept a new normal. My wife's boyfriend is an essential worker on the front lines. He is a university graduate and a department manager at Walmart and understands the science and the models. He assures me that this is the right thing for us non-essential people to do.
Things I've seen you talk about online too is just how important it is to listen to experts and listen to science. And this is a time when, I was not a very good science student when I was in school, but this is a time it seems that, the global scientific community is so critically important, and we're really seeing just how important it is to follow science.
Yes, exactly. And I hope that we can see now the scientific community are stepping up, and they are speaking up more than they're done before, because obviously this is a crisis that would require the scientific community to speak up. And I hope that people really, it feels like science is getting, the role of science is changing now. It's becoming more, people are starting to realize that we are actually depending on science and that we need to listen to scientists and experts. And I really hope that that stays, and that also is for other crises, such as the climate crisis and the environmental crisis, that we actually understand that we have to listen to the scientists.
If the world was vegan, there would be no COVID-19. Up until 10,000 years ago, there were no epidemic diseases. What changed? We domesticated animals.
How's it going? I hope you're being safe out there and in good health. And certainly, I hope you're having enough toilet paper at home. Corona emerged due to the consumption of meat. What can I do in the future to prevent this? Leave the meat off your plate. Don't buy any animal products, and don't consume anything that an animal died for, or has been raped for, or has been tortured for. You know what I'm saying? So in order to avoid a pandemic in the future, you might want to look into your current diet and see what consequences to have an animal on your plate might have on a global scale. And you're seeing it right now. This is a small taste.
American philosopher John Rawls devised a thought experiment called the Veil of Ignorance. He suggested that when trying to determine a moral course of action on an issue that affects multiple people, we should make that decision from a veil of ignorance in regarding which person we will be. For instance, when designing a social policy that affects two different classes of people, one can imagine that once this policy has been designed, one will be placed somewhere in this society with an equal chance of ending up in either of the two classes. The idea is that placing oneself in a veil of ignorance when designing societies or social policies for that matter should result in a more fair and just society where everyone's interests are considered equally. The British government has now put restrictions in place to slow the spread of this virus. People in the UK are only allowed to leave their homes for specific reasons. This includes shopping for necessities, medical care, and travelling to and from work if it's absolutely necessary. Shops selling non-essential goods have been closed, as well as gyms, libraries, places of worship, and gatherings of more than 2 people have been banned. It's extremely important that these measures are enforced and that we practice social distancing, because potentially every one person can set in motion a chain of events that results in thousands of people being infected. Despite this, it seems that many people in the UK aren't taking this seriously, with photos emerging of packed tube stations and crowded parks. The mortality rates can be expected to increase over time if no countermeasures are put in place to flatten the curve, with hospitals becoming overrun with cases. Sure, if you ignore these guidelines, you may not ever see the victims of your actions, but I can't see how that's morally relevant. If I buy cow's cheese, directly affecting the supply and demand and causing more cows to be tortured and killed, I'll never see my victim, but I'm still morally responsible for their suffering and death. This is especially the case when we consider that the government have now told us extensively the risks of leaving home and not practicing good hygiene. We have now been told countless times that more people will die if we do not take this seriously. One argument is that going outside is going to give you a large amount of pleasure, and that you'll be missing out on something if you don't go outside. Perhaps as a social event you really want to go ahead, or you're just bored of social distancing. This is essentially the same argument that non-vegans use when trying to justify killing animals. If we don't think that we can justify killing non-humans on the basis of pleasure, then surely we can't justify killing humans on the basis of pleasure. I mean, come on, what next? Perhaps you also think that because lions don't self-isolate, humans shouldn't either. I think we all know that the behaviour of lions isn't an excuse for humans killing animals or humans. You may also think that Hitler self-isolated and he was a vegetarian. And while it's true that Hitler did self-isolate before his death, what Hitler did and didn't do is irrelevant to what we should do. To be fair though, if God wanted us to self-isolate, why would he give us legs? Another argument people may use is that the quicker we all get infected, the quicker we reach herd immunity. This of course is true if a virus can only infect you once, which we are not certain of when it comes to coronavirus.
Wow. That is some of the most powerful science I've ever heard. I feel so helpless and afraid, but comforted that the science has a plan to fight this terrible real death threat from this pandemic. The essential workers at the hospitals need our help. We must stay home and implement a global lockdown until the good grown-up experts like philanthropist Jeffrey Epstein's close friend Bill Gates come up with a happy, safe, healthy injectable science medicine to make us immune and healthy. Luckily, this won't affect my vegan activism, which is done anonymously in social media comments. I just wish all the non-essential people would listen to us empowered science-affirming activists and stay home and eat plant-based kibble so we can win the battle against the invisible enemy. Toxic masculinity and science denial seem to be at the root of this problem. It seems like both the hashtag climate crisis and this pandemic can be remedied with the same medicine. A global totalitarian technocratic social control grid of government-enforced mandatory poverty, and a new normal that redefines old, outdated concepts like freedom, healthy diet, family, and masculinity.
What do these 4 countries have in common? It's 2 things: Taiwan, New Zealand, Germany, Norway. All 4 of them reacted decisively to the coronavirus crisis. All 4 of them kept infection rates and death rates low, and all 4 of them have female leaders. This coronavirus crisis has shown clearly that we need competent, empathetic leadership, and that means more women in positions of power, and less of the macho stupidity and sociopathic behavior that we get from Bolsonaro in Brazil, Boris Johnson in the UK, or Trump here in the United States.
These toxic masculinity exuding non-essential extra people who refuse to wear their healthy muscles, stay home and accept mandatory unemployment are infringing on my rights. These science denier irresponsible non-essential people are the same bigots who wouldn't listen to the good grown-up philanthropists who tried to help them sterilize themselves and give up their non-essential rights to travel, eat meat, have jobs, own land, and reproduce in order to save our poor sick mommy Earth from all the toxic CO2 exhalations that the experts say the nasty extra people are off-gassing.
The act of killing the animal wasn't the masculine trait back then. It was the act of providing for your homes, right, was the masculine trait back in the day. Gender roles change, right, but this is back in the day, right? The masculine act was to provide and to look after and to defend. But we've conflated that with the masculine thing being aggressive, but also killing animals. And so you translate that feeling to a 2019 context, and you have people thinking, actually, to be manly means to eat meat, but actually to be manly doesn't mean to eat meat. It means to look after, right?
My favorite vegan activist can help re-educate these ignorant science denial lockdown phobes. They just need some inspirational speeches from positive male role models to teach them to accept the new normal. Earthling Ed can help them understand why masculinity is not about eating meat, or having unnecessary things like children, jobs, guns, testosterone, real animal foods, and rights. If only more men would be like Earthling Ed, we would not have viruses because people would not eat animals, or toxic masculinity because men would be comfortable with their lack of masculinity and redefinition of it.
Getting women to find you attractive, and it's really grotesque when you watch these adverts and you simplify what's happening in these adverts and what's being reinforced to people, but it really, really works. Like, advertising is so powerful. So now you have this idea of that, and then as a vegan, I get accused of being a soy boy, right? And now I am a soy boy because I love soy. Like, that's fine. I drink soy milk, I eat tofu. But the idea is being a soy boy, you're feminizing yourself, right? Because there's phytoestrogens in soy products, which there is.
This brave, stunning activist has me literally shaking with self-empowered, redefined masculinity and an unstoppable drive to stay home and stop this virus and the hashtag climate crisis by continuing my hero's journey of vegan activism in YouTube comments and on my anonymous Instagram profile. Real masculinity is not about having or providing for a family and children, producing and eating real animal foods, or having unnecessary testosterone and muscle and rights. Real masculinity is about using female emotional manipulation techniques to make people behave like you want them to. Thank you, Earthling Ed. I stand with you and you're not toxically masculine man bun and proudly declare.
I am a soy boy because I love soy. Like, that's fine. I drink soy milk, I eat tofu. But the idea is being a soy boy, you're feminizing yourself, right? Because there's phytoestrogens in soy products, which there is. Like, you know, this idea that we have to reinforce these tropes of what it means to be a man. And so almost eating meat's a stamp of that dominance and authority, and is a reminder of kind of like more archaic and transgressive masculine traits and roles, which is interesting.
Hello, bigots. We're live. We're live. All you transgressive bigots in the chat. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I want everybody out there, give a hand. Let's give a good round of applause. A round of applause to all the heroes out there. We get new heroes every week, guys. 3 weeks ago, you guys remember 3 weeks ago? Whew, remember 3 weeks ago? The heroes were the essential twerkers. They're still heroes. War zones, literal war zones. All right, these heroes, the essential people, the essential twerkers at the hospitals, the third leading cause of death in the United States. Those essential twerkers have let us know that there are new heroes to be applauded. The new heroes to be applauded every day. But we've got some heroes in the chat. We've got at least one hero in the chat who sent a super chat. Dancy Diaz. What's up, Dancy Diaz? Sends a $20 super chat. Is winning the super chat competition so far. Location 515 here. Hua. Okay. You got a new profile. There you go. Warming up the new profile by sending a nice super chat. Appreciate that. If you guys got any questions, if you guys got any suggestions on topics you want to talk about, or if you just want to support the channel here, send those super chats. We are doing another super chat competition today. Whoever can send the best super chat describing how to be a good global citizen, telling us how they are a good global citizen, and how we can know that they are not bigots and that they're not racist. Whoever sends the best super chat proving that they are not a bigot, not a racist, and is a good global citizen, you guys will win. The best super chat will win a round of applause. Okay, that's just a taste. That's a taste right there. And maybe we'll take a knee, right? Maybe, if you're lucky, we will take a knee. So, how's everyone doing out there? Have you guys got sore knees? Have you guys been kneeling? Remember remember 3 weeks ago when the essential twerkers they included the police, right? They were the heroes 3 weeks ago. There was the police were the heroes, the frontline workers at Walmart, right? Your wife's boyfriend, frontline worker at Walmart. Those were the heroes. Now, I think we've got a different hero. We've got a different group of heroes but they still deserve applause. And they actually get a lot more than applause now. they get a lot more than applause now. Over 1,000 health professionals signed a letter saying don't shut down protests using coronavirus concerns as an excuse. So the essential workers and the essential twerkers, the front lines of the literal war zones, right? Totally real war zones. Real war zones. At these hospitals that have been going basically bankrupt, where they're furloughing most of the staff because of the totally real war that's going on there. Right? It's so dangerous in these hospitals. Well, there's something that's even more dangerous than these hospitals, and CNN Health is going to tell us. We've got Mallory Simon here. Mallory Simon from CNN doing some amazing reporting. A group of health and medical colleagues has penned an open letter to express their concern that protests around the United States could be shut down under the guise of coronavirus health concerns. Wow. Do you hear that, guys? The health workers are so concerned, and CNN is so concerned that the government might take totalitarian measures and do things like lock these protesters in their homes. You guys remember 3 weeks ago when everyone was locked in their homes? Yeah. You guys remember when people were protesting the lockdowns and they were called racist, bigot, homophobes, whatever they normally call people who go against anything that the media tells you to do? Well, things are different now, guys. Now it's okay to protest. It's okay to go outside. It's okay to go outside. It's okay to burn stuff, apparently, according to CNN, right? CNN says the letter, which went on to draw more than 1,200 signatures, focuses on techniques to reduce harm to people protesting racial injustice. All right, so there are some very fascinating quotes from this letter. Let's see if CNN, I don't even think they don't even link to the letter. They don't even link to the actual letter. Public health experts say the pandemic is exactly why protests must continue. Let's see if they actually link to the letter. Here's the open letter. See, at least Slate has actually linked to the open letter. Open letter. To view the letter, you can go here. What is submit? What are you submitting? So Google Doc. Oh, I just submitted a response. Okay. I guess I just signed the letter. I don't know. So here's the open letter advocating for an anti-racist public health response to demonstrations against systemic injustice occurring during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? So systemic injustice, but this isn't systemic injustice of shutting down all the small businesses so everybody has to shop at Walmart and Target. This isn't systemic injustices like locking you in your freaking home and giving you stay-at-home orders, forcing you to wear a mask that's going to deprive your oxygen and make you immune compromised. This is not any of those things. This is the public health threat of racism. Racism, guys. So apparently COVID is no longer a threat, but white supremacy is a lethal public health issue that predates, this is a quote, I'm not making this up. White supremacy is a lethal public health issue that predates and contributes to COVID-19. Okay, we'll skip down a little bit. Staying at home, social distancing, and public masking are effective at minimizing the spread of COVID-19. But we skip down to the bottom here. But we'll just read this whole paragraph. How about that? Staying at home, social distancing, and public masking are effective at minimizing the spread of COVID-19 to the extent possible. We support the application of these public health best practices during demonstrations that call attention to the pervasive lethal force of white supremacy. However, as public health advocates, who's even writing this, right? The public health advocates, we do not condemn these gatherings as risky for COVID-19 transmission. We support them as vital to the national public health and to the threatened health specifically of Black people in the United States. We can show that support by facilitating safest protesting practices without detracting from demonstrators' ability to gather and demand change. Demand change, right? Well, what are people demanding again? What are the demands? This should not be confused with a permissive state. This is the best part. This is what we really need to get to. This should not be confused with a permissive stance on all gatherings, particularly protests against stay-at-home orders. Those actions not only oppose public health interventions, but are also rooted in white nationalism and run contrary to respect for black lives. So if you don't accept what the experts say, if you don't stay home, save lives, well, then you are a racist and a bigot. And not only do you hate grandma, the children, and science, but apparently you're just racist. You're racist, and they say you hate black people too. So this is public service announcement. The experts have spoken. Health experts say you should still close your business and stay indoors unless it's to protest. That's what they say. All right, so all right, so let's expand on this a little bit. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Let's check out. We have a lot going on now. Got a lot going on this week. Let's see. We checked out. You guys remember Hannah? Remember Hannah? Hannah was literally shaking, hyperventilating, and actively passing out. Hannah was having a hard time. The fascist police were not letting Hannah block traffic. You guys remember Hannah? She's out there. She's a young white girl. This brave young white girl, Hannah, is fighting the man. But the Nazis won't stop attacking her. Look at this poor girl.
Keep scooting back for me, man. Go ahead and stand up for me.
These Nazis are tormenting our children. Hey, these Nazis are tormenting Americans.
It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Where are the adults? Where are our veterans? Where are our leaders? Our politicians. What are they doing right now? While fascists brutalize our kids. They aren't letting this young woman have her dialysis.
This boomer, the best part of this video is the boomer going, they won't let this woman have her dialysis. Okay. All right, so these girls are fighting the man, obviously. Just another update. We gotta get updated on the situation now. So, literal war zones, heroes. These are the heroes, guys. There are a lot of heroes. These are the heroes. Police used to be heroes a few weeks ago, but apparently now they're not. Now they're the Nazis, the oppressors, patriarchy. Not allies, but these are the heroes. These are allies. They're staying safe. Full body condoms, right? Thank you. Clapping for the. There you go. Old heroes, new heroes, right? I mean, it's beautiful. So the heroes and the full body condoms, they will not be none of them are going to be impregnated by COVID. They're all safe. Masks, double masks, gloves on most of them. One of them not wearing gloves. She might be infected. But the heroes, essential people. Me, you, not essential. Small businesses, not essential, right? You want to get a haircut? What's your problem? Racist? You want to go riot? All right. So we got the heroes, the essential workers here. We got Johns Hopkins. Remember Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins did the Event 201 with the World Economic Forum, Davos, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right, where they simulated a totally real virus outbreak. Johns Hopkins, who helped promote the idea of lockdowns. Johns Hopkins is out there saying, this is okay. We got white coats for black lives. Taking a knee. Taking a knee, guys. This is how we get change, right? We go out into the streets. We repeat things that other people are doing. We yell slogans. And we wait for the good grown-ups at the big foundation and the political parties, we wait for the good grown-ups to tell the other good grown-ups on the TV what we want, right? So we chant the slogans, we get down on our knees, right? Come on. All right, powerful, right? Powerful. White coats for black lives. There's like one black person in the whole crowd. There's another. There's two black people in the whole crowd. All right, so that's a little update on that. Why do I have this pulled up still? All right, we got a lot going on. All right, we've got. I don't know if you remember. There are other allies out there, college students playing beer pong. Right? They understand who the new heroes are. Let's see. Thumbs up, right? Thumbs up. Listening to the cool music. I don't know what music that is. Playing some beer pong, right? Homie in the background. Class is canceled. Patriarchy smashed. Right? Protesters outside. Thumbs up. Fists up. Powerful. Heroes. Right?
Why are you?
Oh! Whoa!
We're on your side! We're on your side! Holy shit! We're on your side! We're on your fucking side!
On your side! They didn't realize it. They didn't realize that these bros were allies. Alright, so, anyways. These guys recognize the heroes. These guys recognize the heroes. Alright. Allies, guys. On your side. Alright, so that's one of the funniest ones that came out. That's one of the funniest ones that came out the last few weeks. The Art of Truth and Love, what's up? Thanks for the $20 super chat. Saying all lives matter. Says Antifa BLM PSYOPs. In all caps. Appreciate you guys supporting the stream. You guys know these all get demonetized. These all get hidden deep in the algorithms. So your support is appreciated. Remember, we are still doing a super chat competition to see who is a good global citizen. The Art of Truth and Love. I don't know if you're such a good global citizen with that comment. Right? Who knows? When you guys keep the chat clean, I haven't even been watching the chat. I don't want to go back here and clean up the chat. Remember, YouTube removes channels for activities in the chat, yeah? So be good. So, heroes. Remember, police were heroes. They were frontline workers a few weeks ago. Now, not so much. All right, so let's see what's going on here. We've got one of the new heroes, right, who Johns Hopkins has taken a knee for, right? One of the new frontline workers of the peaceful protests. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. So, this young lady was just assaulted. She was waving her little balloon. If you guys are listening later on, you can't really see what's happening. But she's waving a little balloon in front of this cop's face. He moves the balloon out of the way, and she screams like she just got assaulted. She squeals like a dying pig. All right, one more time. She's whacking him in the face with his... Okay. All right, so there's a lot of heroes, out there this week, and the shame brigades. The shame brigades are just fascinating, right? So we're gonna get into the shame brigades next. We've got a lot of shame brigades to talk about. Coffee bean rather. Coffee Bean says BLM equals bigot lives matter. Again, the competition is to see who can send the best good global citizen super chat. Coffee Bean, you just got taken down a notch on the global citizen hierarchy. All right, you just lost 3 social media credits. Your carbon footprint just increased. And we might have to remove some of your feet if you keep that up. Bigot lives do not. All right. So Luke retweeted this one. We've got what do these people want, right? What do the protesters want? The vegans are kind of obvious with what they want, right? The vegans want total animal liberation. Right? Now some of these LARPers in the streets, they want total teenage liberation. Right? They want to defund the police as well. Defund the police, right? I'm not really sure where this is going, the whole defund the police thing. Right? I mean, most people are not for completely defunding the police. I don't understand where this is going, but it's funny. It really appeals to like a lot of, fake rebellious sentiment. And rich people aren't going to care, right? I mean, if you defund the police, if there's no cops, if you're rich, you can have your own private police. Like in San Francisco, the police don't really do much as far as keeping the homeless from pooping in front of your house. So these rich people hire like private police to basically police their neighborhoods and keep the bums from shitting on their steps. Right? So, I mean, I guess that could be one. I'm not sure why these socialists are trying to dismantle a socialist program, like public programs. I don't know. Maybe it's about getting in federal police. Like eventually international. We need them international police, right? Get the UN peacekeeping forces in Chicago or something. Hopefully that's not where this is going. And hopefully, I don't know. We'll see where this is going. But this defund the police thing, we're going to talk about this a little bit. But let's take a look at another one of the heroes. These are the good grown-ups on CNN. Let's see. What do people want? And what is Minneapolis City Council about to do to protect their citizens during these trying times, right? You understand that tensions are really high, okay? Tensions are high out there. Let's see.
We have a state action against our police department, which gives us legal mechanisms in the very short term. There's lessons from all over the country, all over the world that we're looking to take immediate steps while we work toward building the systems that we would need to imagine that future.
Do you understand that the word dismantle or police free also makes some people nervous? For instance, what if in the middle of the night my home is broken into? Who do I call?
Yes, I mean, I hear that loud and clear from a lot of my neighbors. And I know, and myself too, and I know that comes from a place of privilege, because for those of us for whom the system is working, I think we need to step back and imagine what it would feel like to already live in that reality, where calling the police may mean more harm is done. And so we have a state action against our police department.
Okay, so all right, so calling the police, being able to call the police means you have privilege. All right. Being able to call the cops means you got privilege. So who are you supposed to call? Right? These are the same people that say you shouldn't own firearms. They're the same people that were saying, why do you need a clip that can hold 30 rounds? Why do you need that? What are you going to do? You're going to call your local community organizer? You're going to call your local your local Antifa? So Antifa could, hey, excuse me, bro. There's some fascists breaking into my house trying to rob me, bro. You're going to call your local anarchist collective of 17 to 25-year-old hipsters. These hipsters that call themselves anarchists with revolutionary communist Che Guevara on their t-shirts. You're going to call your local lesbian BLM founder. You're going to call the founders of BLM radical feminist lesbians. Are you going to call me? local trans vegan activist. I don't know. Who are you going to call? I do not know. So, anyways, that's interesting. Another interesting development with the heroes. And what else? All right, where we have... All right, the shame brigades. All right, so we've got a few of the demands are being laid out there. It's we want to get rid of the cops. We want to get rid of the police, right? Obviously, there are a lot of issues with police. There are a lot of issues with police brutality. There are a lot of issues with, a lot of these police are actually run through, essentially, they're run basically like Freemasonic lodges. They even have the square and compass on their badges, many of these police forces. Ice Cube was actually retweeting some of these things. You can't figure out if he wants to be... Ice Cube is he's oscillating between being obnoxious, fake woke, and kind of based lately. But he was posting these pictures of the Freemasonic badges on all these police organizations. He said it's all one big gang. Actually, let me pull that tweet up. And he was also posting pictures of Louis Farrakhan, which I think is kind of funny, a little bit hypocritical. Let's see. I got tweets and replies. Good global citizens out there. We got, we still got to get to Pelosi and their LARPing costumes, right? Here, I'll use the quiet mouse. I always forget to use the quiet mouse. Here you go. So Ice Cube, the Secret Society of Terror, gang, and he's got all these images of the police badges. They all have some suspiciously familiar symbols on them. Okay, then but also he was tweeting the other day about Farrakhan, about his boy Louis Farrakhan. Here's Louis Farrakhan being honored by everybody's favorite group. Look at their cute little garbs. Look at their cute little aprons covering what they consider the holy of holies. Their little phallus worship dorky cult. So, anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. But. Defund the police. Defund the police. Who's going to protect? It's one of my favorite gifs ever now. Who's going to protect us? You guys, we have the winners. So far, we've got some good global citizens in the chat. We have some, I hope we don't have any edgelords in there. Edgelords, take it easy. And mods, if people get too edgelordy, remember, we're trying to keep this channel on YouTube. Yeah, let's be good. Let's be good global citizens in there. The art of truth and love. Love your live streams. It's true, but it's funny. Also, I win the global... I'm sorry, where'd it go? I win the Global Citizen Challenge noob for now. So you do win. You did win the Global Citizen Challenge for the nicest, most generous super chat. All right, but so far, let's see. So far you win, but the next super chat from Palmer Elric and the Art of Truth and Love. Thank you so much. You're always supporting the channel here. I don't think a stream has gone by in the last month where I haven't seen your name pop up and where you haven't supported. Really appreciate that. It does keep us alive, keep us going here. And yeah, we might have to move to Streamlabs if we end up getting demonetized. Hopefully not. We never break community guidelines. We are good global citizens. I am a trans vegan activist, right? So there's many ways that I protect my community and that I protect this channel. All right, one of those is just letting YouTube understand that trans vegan rights are being infringed upon. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. These trans vegan phobes in the vegan community have been out to get me. And they're trying to get my buddy Jon Venus as well, who I'm suspecting might be trans vegan too. Palmer Elric sends $10. Palmer Elric, who I always have to talk about Philip K. Dick when I see your name. Thank you for supporting the stream. Palmer Elric. The 3 stigmata of Palmer Eldritch is a Philip K. Dick book, weird book. It says, "Welcome to the brave new world," said the oligarchs. Welcome to oligarchical collectivism. Well, you can join my anarchist collective any day, okay? any day. Palmer Elrich. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Let's see. We've got, after Dency Diaz has one-upped the Art of Truth and Love. Dency Diaz, aka Location 515. I know that's you. I know that's you behind that Dency Diaz mask. I hope you're wearing your muzzle and your veil of ignorance over there, wherever you are at. Sends a $60 super chat, says, how about that? Wins the super chat, generosity competition. But then the Art of Truth and Love comes from behind, wielding a supreme brick, and chucks it at the back of Dency Diaz, the fascist's head. No police around because the police don't exist anymore. They've been defunded. And the Art of Truth and Love sends a $100 super chat, says, I still win, with a smiley face. And you are officially the goodest global citizen of the night. Hound Dog sends $5. Appreciate that $5. Says, watching on a crapper, trying to crank out my daily dozen. Dr. Gregor's spicy kibble got my ass raw. Fire. Poo-poo emoji. Sad hot face emoji. Well, the good global that is the good global citizen comment of the day so far. That is a really good global citizen comment. And all right, guys, let's get back to the show. Thank you for supporting the stream. Really appreciate that. We got Aaron, the big black dude. You guys make sure to check out his channel. He's got a couple uploads of some recent mashup videos, some clips that he took from the streams, and he made some really good clipped up videos. And he's got some great content over there. And he just did a podcast. You should share that on your community page. He just did a podcast talking about his 200-pound weight loss. Right? Didn't you say you were over 500 pounds at one point? Aaron's got a crazy story, and I had no idea about this. We've been talking back and forth for like probably a couple years now. I had no idea that you lost 200 pounds. So, man, I'm blown away by that, and also blown away by these other good global citizens out there. We've got some really, really good global citizens here. Global news, giving us the heads up on the good global citizens who are so woke, so not tone deaf, and so not racist. And they're honoring the black community by kneeling, of course. Kneeling. Let's take a look.
Good morning, everyone.
These are Democratic leaders, and because they're so not racist, right? Because they're so not racist, they're showing they're not racist by honoring African Americans, by wearing what they perceive to be traditional African garbs. They've got these like African patterned scarves and African patterned masks. For those of you listening later on, I've got Nancy Pelosi. She's looking so tone deaf. Nancy Pelosi dressed up like she's going to see The Lion King on Broadway. Right? Nancy Pelosi is dressed up. Nancy Pelosi is she watched the movie Cool Runnings before donning this scarf, and here she is. Here she is at the opening night of The Lion King on Broadway. Nancy Pelosi.
It is an honor to be here with the members of the Congressional Black Caucus, House and Senate, our distinguished chair, Karen Bass, Senator Booker, Senator Harris, the distinguished leader, Democratic leader of the Senate, Mr. Schumer. We are gathered here in Emancipation Hall, aptly named for those who built the Capitol, sadly. Last summer.
Totally not pandering, right? Totally not pandering. You know, we need music to go with this, right? It's kind of a boring speech. We got to get to the part where she's about to kneel. It's a very boring script. I didn't even listen to this, but the best part, let's see, we can skip to the end. I think we need some music. Let's get some music too.
Leader.
It's actually true in our time for Black Americans.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leader. Before we have our moment of silence, which as you indicated is a very long time, especially with someone's knee on your neck, we gather in honor of those Americans and so many others. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Botham Jean, Terrence Butcher, Jordan Davis, Oscar Grant, Philando Castillo. Been hurt by all of this, won't mind if you shout out names then. For those who wish to, we will now kneel for our moment of silence.
This is much more fitting, right? I think this is how. I'm adding the music for dramatic effect. So they kneel for 8 minutes. They kneel for 8 minutes straight. I'm adding the music just so, for you guys in the chat. Look at these idiots. Look at these fools. Look at these scarves. This is gonna stop racism, right? These people wearing these African printer scarves and kneeling. Kneeling in there. 8 minutes. There you go, guys. So, racism is over. America wins. The people are united in their partisan politics. Right? So this is just I am inspired. I am not a bigot. That guy's a bigot though. Why is that guy not kneeling? What's up with this guy? Why does this guy show up and not kneel? This is so what the hell? Look at this lady, she got 2 knees. The camera zooms in. The camera zooms in. The cameraman zooms in on the two black Democrats in the group. That's so funny. So, there we go. That was with some music, some beautiful music added. We've got the Lion King Super NES song. What are these LARPers doing? What are these LARPers doing? Look at the cameraman. The cameraman's like, all right, let's all these like look at Pelosi, this crusty old drunk white woman. We need the music again. Chuck Schumer. And then the best part, the cameraman, to show how woke they are, zooms in, realizes that the camera is on somebody who's not kneeling, right? And then zooms in to show, all right, look, there are a couple of black Democratic senators here. This was come on. Ladies texting behind Pelosi, someone says. All right. So, racism, done. Right? Bigotry, finished. Over. Okay? Almost. We've got Mayor Fry. Mayor Fry, everybody. The shame brigades, the best shame brigades are yet to come. The best shame brigades are coming in the second hour. It's almost the second hour already, but we got to finish this. We've got Fry. Talking to this gentleman, this guy up on the stage, big black dude, yelling at Fry. We've already got defund police, BLM masks, right? BLM masks already made. Defund the police, right? This is totally a grassroots thing. This is so grassroots, right? This is just a reminder. The revolution, brought to you by Gushers. Gushers wouldn't be Gushers without the black community and your voices. We're working with Fruit by the Foot on creating space to amplify that. Okay? So, just a little message brought to you by the sponsors of the revolution. Gushers wouldn't be Gushers without the black community and your voices. We're working with Fruit by the Foot on creating space to amplify that. We see you. We stand with you. Okay, so they don't kneel with you, but they stand with you. So we've got Gushers. Hold on, guys. Riders protesting right now. Let me see if I... Hey, Ryder? Hey. Come on, Ruben. It's bedtime. Bedtime's a difficult time. Ryder is... He's really... Look, tensions are high. My 4-year-old is really upset. He's mad at Pelosi for that racist garb. And Jessica won't let him burn a police car. So, all right. So, anyways, Gushers wouldn't be Gushers without the black community and your voices. We're working with Fruit by the Foot on creating space to amplify that. We see you. We stand with you. We've also got the revolution is brought to you as well by Fruit by the Foot. Teaming up with Gushers, we are listening and committed for the long term. Stay tuned. All right, I'm going to retweet from Fruit by the Foot. Just a quick announcement. We know Nike, Bank of America. Who else? All right, so many good grown-ups at these global corporations are bringing this revolution to us, donating to the cause. And we've also got, other than the private corporations that are helping to donate to this cause, that's now saying they want to defund police. What does this even mean? We've also got the governor. I'm sorry, the mayor. The Mayor Fry. Let's see what Mayor Fry has to say to the revolution.
I've probably count 5, 6, 7,000 people here today. That's Jacob Fry's house, y'all. That's Jacob Fry's house, y'all. Right there.
So they call Jacob Fry up.
Come here, Jacob, come here. 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 Come here, Jacob. Jacob, where you at? Let's get it, Jacob.
Yeah, but here he comes. Jacob Fry has been outspoken about charging the officers and very outspoken about changing the...
All right, let's hear what Jacob has to say.
Responsible for the death of George Floyd by investing in the Minneapolis police.
He comes up here and just gets lectured by this dude for a bit.
By not listening to community members for the last 2 years. The last 2 years.
This dude just yells at him for a bit, and then, all right, finally this guy gives him the...
I'm the mayor of this city. And I do have to take responsibility here.
We can vote you out.
I've been coming to grips with my own brokenness in this situation, my own failures. It's not
I've been coming to grips with my own brokenness. It's like this like public confession. This This reminds me of, next we're going to talk about, a little bit from now, we're going to talk about Jon Venus. This reminds me of Jon apologizing to all the vegans when he did the thought crime of considering leaving veganism, and he even ate a few eggs. He ate a few vegetarian meals, right? I'm coming to grips with my own brokenness. Listen to him trying to remember the lines, too. I think there's a better angle. All right, I think this angle's better. Is this it?
Listen up, y'all. Listen up. You commit to defund. Clear.
Okay, wait, hold on.
And I know there needs to be deep-seated structural reform in terms of how the department operates. A systemically racist system needs to be revamped. The police union needs to be put in its place.
So his aides did a decent job at writing this to kind of pander to. Does this dude have the Prince? Oh, it might be. All right, I get it. I think he's got the Prince thing tattooed on his arm. That's funny. He's got Prince's.
To make sure that everything from the union contract to the way that the arbitration functions to the way that our officers in the culture and the departments
Give me that mic. Jacob Fry, we have a yes or no question for you.
All right, hold on. Here we go.
We don't want people with guns toting around in our community, shooting us down. You have an answer? It is a yes or a no. It is a yes or a no. Will you defund the Minneapolis Police Department?
Yes or no? Will you defund the Minneapolis Police Department?
All right, be quiet, y'all. Be quiet, because it's important that we actually hear this. It's important that we hear this, because if y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year. He's up for re-election next year. And if he says no, guess what the fuck we gonna do next year?
It's like a shamed little boy, right? Like a shamed child. Like a shamed child who's trying to get his mommy to give him a cookie if he says the right thing. Like a little puppy dog that comes and sits in front of you. All right, kneel, Jacob. Kneel, Jacob Fry. So he asked, you mean the full abolition of the police? I wish there were subtitles. He says, I do not support the full abolition of the police. These people they want to abolish police. They want to abolish police. Who's going to handle what, like the video before, who's going to handle if someone breaks into your house? Who's going to handle if people start burning down buildings in your neighborhood? All right, I don't know. And he's wearing a mask that says, I can't breathe, right? All these people are wearing masks that say, I can't breathe. And this dude comes out here in this crowd of people, this crowd of like rabid mob, massive rabid mob. And he panders to them and he gets down on his knees. Like, 'cause he's up for re-election, right? They ask him, will you abolish the police, right? Look, there are issues with policing, but abolish police in a city like Minneapolis, in a city like Chicago, right? I can understand if you live in an area where everybody is armed, where you have local community that's ready and that's down to protect that local community, right? Where you have gun rights. But they're talking about just, we're going to get rid of the police. We've been rioting, destroying public property. There have been more murders the last weeks in Chicago than any other point in history, right? The murder rates are going crazy. The sexual assaults are going nuts in these places where these protests are going down. Something you're not hearing about much, right? As all this property is being destroyed, as these cities are being destroyed, and everybody's out of work, been locked down by these ridiculous totalitarian measures. These people are wearing dehumanization, oxygen deprivation masks, and they're saying, we're going to abolish the police. Look at the sign. Police abolition now, right next to them. Who's printing these signs? There's another, the same sign. They're passing out these signs to abolish the police. This group's taking political donations internationally from all over the world, filtering in through this BLM group, doing just what the Clinton Foundation used to do. But then they had to stop because the feds started catching on to them and sniffing around. This is crazy. So they ask him, do you support full abolition of the police? And here's his answer. I do not support the full abolition of the police. Oh! Go home, Jacob, go home. Look at him. He's the mayor. Shame! Shame chanting him. Shame chanting him. Shame Jacob. They just shamed him like Cersei Lannister. Shame. Shame. What? Aaron the big black dude. He's got a wrench in the chat. He says, I had someone I was working with try to tell me I had to wear a rainbow Black Lives Matter shirt. I said no, so we parted ways. I had to stand on what I believe in. Money isn't everything. So Aaron the big black dude, who you can't tell by his name, he is a black dude. Someone he worked with tried to force him to wear a rainbow BLM shirt. He said no. What's going on here? What's going on here? So these people, they're talking about defund the police. At the same time, what else is going on? Remember contact tracing? We talked about this before. We talked about the contact tracing. Remember contact tracing? So they want to defund the police. The Clinton Global Initiative, the Rockefeller Foundation, are talking about contact tracing armies. Gavin Newsom talking about contact tracing armies in the United States to march around and make sure nobody's illegally sneezing. You guys notice no illegal sneezes today for me. I think the grass bloom is done. All right, no illegal sneezing. Contact tracing armies, essentially doing exactly what the NKVD, what the Soviet secret police were doing. Doing exactly what was done in these communist countries. Surveilling everybody. So maybe that's what it's about, right? Maybe this defund the police thing has to do with the contact tracing. The community policing. Who knows? Who knows? But they the walk of shame. So here's Jacob Fry's walk of shame from another angle, I think. Let's see.
Hey, what does that make you feel? He just said he does not support the full abolition of the Minneapolis Police Department.
It's saddening, it's politics, it's the status quo, and it's disheartening.
This dude, come on, dude. This guy with his... How much time you spend making yourself look all pretty like that, dude? And just nothing to say about this. I guess it's disheartening, man. It's bad. I guess all the crowd says it's bad, so it must be bad, right? It's funny when you hear people in the crowds like actually get interviewed and ask questions. Most of them are just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just groupthink that's going on. All right, we got 205 people in here. I think we had like 230 before. You guys make sure to like this one. Make sure to share it. Make sure to share it, all you bigots. We got another generous super chat. Thank you so much. The Art of Truth and Love. I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. And it's crazy how many videos we put out here in the first few years, never had any problems with demonetization. Actually, we started the channel before YouTube was even monetized, but we knew it was going to go downhill when monetization came in. But it's crazy how now 90% of the videos are actually demonetized now. But you guys keep the channel alive with those super chats. You guys keep these streams fun. The Art of Truth and Love sends $100. Thank you for that. Says everyone here needs Jesus. He is the way, the truth, and the life. World is becoming a beast system. Wait until 5G is everywhere. Thank you for that super chat. Well said. Well said. So all these people kneeling before man, right? All these people kneeling before other men. Look at Jacob Fry, fake crying in front of the casket of George Floyd. Fake crying in front of this golden casket. Remember, your family couldn't have funerals. Your families can't have funerals. If your grandfather dies in a hospital, you're not allowed to visit him in the hospital. Yet, this guy can have a funeral 10 times in 10 different cities in the last few days, right? How many cities has he visited? He was just in Houston yesterday with this gold casket. Everybody's bowing before and worshiping this golden idol. The closed casket. And guess what? The media also told you, oh, George Floyd, they also said that George Floyd had the virus. So he had coronavirus, and they're bringing the body all around in the golden casket? So, here you go. All these people that reject God and bow before these idols, look at him fake crying. Oh. Look at these crocodile tears. Fake weeping in front of this golden casket. Fake weeping in front of this tiny golden casket. Weird stuff, right? Remember, a lot of these are the same people that were telling you, stay home, save lives. You can't have a funeral for your grandpa. If your mother or father died in a car accident, you can't have a funeral for them. You cannot go to church. But guess who gets to go to church? All these politicians to stage this fake weep fest, kneeling before a golden idol. These are the same people. Check this guy out with his I Can't Breathe shirt and his mask. The Florida lawyer who dressed up as the Grim Reaper and handed out body bags last month in an effort to shame Florida beachgoers amid the coronavirus pandemic has been attending even larger mass protests this month. Daniel Uhlfelder went viral in May for his somber coronavirus stunts, warning Floridians to stay home and social distance. Now, after he was out there, look at that, property of the morgue, doing this publicity stunt, Daniel Uhlfelder, out with these huge crowds, says, huge crowd, stay hopeful and stay strong. Look at this guy. We are here in Florida, Panhandle, and Deep South, where hundreds have turned out for peaceful protests. No peace, no justice. Justin Trudeau, everybody's favorite world leader. This guy is a good global citizen. I don't care how many super chats you guys send or how good global citizen, how much of a good global citizen you are, how much globalese you can put in your super chats. This guy, Justin Trudeau, wins the good global citizen competition of the year. All right, so he took a break from, you can see him here in his natural habitat. Justin Trudeau has taken a break from dressing up from his normal costume party. You can see him here. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Sophie, Javier, Ella Grace, and Hadrian visit the Swaminarayan Akshardham Temple in Ahmedabad, India. 2018, here he is. Woke Justin Trudeau. Here he is. People in India thought it was too much. There's Justin Trudeau. Tone it down, dude. Tone it down, cheese ball. You're cheesier than the block of cheese I've been eating this stream. By the way, this is some of the best cheese. This is like, there's only one more block of this, and it takes like at least a month to be ready. It's better if it goes longer. And if you wait like a year, apparently it becomes like Parmesan. I doubt we're ever going to get one that gets to a year because it's so good. Jessica makes this cheese. It takes about 2 gallons to make a round of cheese. That's epic. So I've probably eaten the equivalent of a gallon of milk worth of this cheese today. It is just so good. It's called I forget what the name was. Like a monk cheese or something. I forget what the long term was for it. So freaking good. But Justin Trudeau is somehow cheesier than that cheese that I'm eating right here. Here's Justin Trudeau. Let's see what he's got. See what he's got going on. Let's see if he kneels for the revolution. Remember, this is a totally real revolution. And all these world leaders, they just care about everybody. They just want to save lives. I gotta turn this up. I can't really hear that well. It's kind of hard to make out what's going on there.
Perhaps we should tell them about us living our own ground. Who was beat up by school by a unified boy who stayed like she was not playing with me because she's not. Some people are refusing to acknowledge the many reports and statistics, including that.
He's surrounded by people for this photo op. He puts a black, like stages a black guy behind him. This is so corny. All right, so got Justin Trudeau taking a knee. Look, he's got the Black Lives Matter. What is that, a t-shirt or a...
It's a product of Canada. Canada, home of diversity and multicultural. No.
This is nonsense. All right, so Justin Trudeau, who also, he took a break from wearing blackface. It was like a bunch of times he's worn blackface in the past, and to do this. So the shame brigades will not be shaming Justin Trudeau like they did to Fry. We'll see. Will Trudeau step up and abolish all police? I mean, he's already been taking away people's rights to own firearms over there. Why not take the next step and abolish the police? So, Trudeau. Here's one of the good Democratic grown-ups. One of my favorite clips, too. There we go. One more time for this one. Okay. All right. So, also wearing I guess this is from the same day. This is the press conference from when they were wearing the African garb. Here's a photo from it. So there's just so much going on. In Seattle, we had protesters actually establish what they're calling an autonomous zone around Seattle PD building, and the police retreated. The police gave up their building to these Antifa kids in Seattle. What the hell is going on here? Seattle police leave East Precinct, remove barricades. All right, so we've got, I don't know, it's getting crazy out there. We don't even have time to talk about this. We got the next shame brigades to talk about. So many shame brigades. So amidst all of this, the revolution brought to you by Gushers, Fruit by the Foot, and Nike, Bank of America, Justin Trudeau, Nancy Pelosi. Who else? George W. Bush. George W. Bush. And what's that? Mitt Romney. So this totally grassroots revolution. And now the next front of the revolution. This totally grassroots and not co-opted revolution of veganism. Right? Sit down, shut up, stay home, eat the kibble. Right? We can't forget to eat the kibble. The kibble is one of the most important parts of this totally grassroots, global, woke revolution. Now, we've got Jon Venus. Jon Venus says he's no longer vegan. Who's surprised? Who's surprised? And who's surprised that vegans are mad? Vegans are so mad. Oh, those vegans are mad. We have tons of videos put out. Oh, Bart K's live. Bart K. How dare you? How dare you, Bart K? How dare you? So I watched a few clips of some of these. In fact, the most boring one, I watched the whole Vegan Gains one yesterday. That was the most boring one. So we'll start out with that one. We're not even going to, I'm sure all of you have seen Jon's video. Maybe just to give a few thoughts and a little bit of background. Jon Venus, he ate a few eggs and then decided to confess to it like a year later. Just like you saw Mayor Fry confessing his sins of not doing enough for the revolution, of not being a good global citizen, not being enough of a good global citizen. We've got Jon Venus, Jon Venus confessed to eating eggs. All right, so we had Jon Venus on, let's see, it was back in, here it is. Jon Venus eating eggs. We called it Egggate. But then Vegan Gains even stole the Egggate name. Let's see, I don't even remember the timeline that well. Let's see, this was on what date was Vegan Gains stream? Why doesn't it show the date? It doesn't show the date on Vegan Gains stream. Well, mine was on, anyways, December 3rd. So Jon Venus came on. Me and Bobby talked to Jon on December 3rd. Jon Venus said, I ate some eggs. And he almost cried on camera, right? It was like the apology video to him eating eggs. It was so, I don't know. To me, I thought it was really pathetic, right? I told him, me and Bobby both told him, just, what are you doing, dude? I told him, the longer you wait, you know you're not going to be vegan soon. Why are you dancing around it? Why are you pretending that you still buy into this shit? You see what these people do. These people will eat you alive. These people have sensed that you do not adhere to their ideology. They feel it. They feel that you're about to leave the cult, and they already have pre-shamed you. Why would you put yourself through this, dude? We told him this. So Bobby and I, that was the last time Bobby was on the stream. It would have been nice to have, maybe Bobby will be able to come on when Jon comes on. I have spoken to Jon. Full transparency, I have spoken to Jon. I don't know anything more than what you all know from the videos out there, though. Right? As far as like what he's revealed, I'm going to be just kind of speculating. I don't know. I'm not privy to any like backdoor information from Jon Venus here. But I have spoken to him. He's no longer vegan. He's not planning on going vegan again. He's no longer on the fence. Jon Venus's his balls have dropped. He's done with it, right? So I don't know if Jon's going to be trans vegan like me. I mean, it's coming out as trans almost, what was it? A year ago? 2 years ago? Coming out of as trans vegan. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like as far as the online stuff goes, right? These vegans have shown so much transphobia. I don't know if Jon is trans vegan. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. You can't help it. You can't help how you were born. Right? I'm trans vegan, but I think Jon, he's done with it. He's done with veganism. He's finally done with it. Bobby and I talked to him, And then I think it was afterwards. Does anybody remember? It's hard for me to remember. He did this stream with Vegan Gains after. And the stream with Vegan Gains after, this is a classic stream. There are so many amazing clips in this. Unfortunately, it's an hour and a half long. I don't remember exactly where all the best parts of it are, but there are some golden clips in this stream. Vegan Gains berating Jon Venus, interrogating Jon Venus. Jon Venus saying, look, I'm still vegan. I ate 3 eggs. I didn't like it. I came back. Look, I'm still here. I want to be vegan. I'm doing it for the animals. Vegan Gains is so mad. Richard is so pissed. This is one of the most hilarious vegan videos ever. We'll see if we can find a few good clips in this right now, and then we'll jump into some of the newer response videos.
Accurate, that's all I fucking care about.
Here we go.
So can you show me...
Wait, here we go. This is good. I think this is the good
fucking
part.
Smarter than you. If you're trying to explain something and I don't understand it, that's because you're being stupid.
Okay, no, you're 100% more intellectually intelligent. I give you that. That's fine. You know, points for you, whatever. But what I'm saying is that you don't understand what, you know, the emotional side of things, how that impacts other people. And obviously, words can be extremely abusive. It can. Huh?
How does it impact the animals?
I'm saying being abusive towards, like, being nice to animals, or even...
Okay, so in this, when Jon did this, I knew he was done with veganism, right? Like, he actually stood up to Vegan Gains in this and made Vegan Gains look like a triggered little little baby. I'm trying to find, there's this one clip that's so golden in here. If anybody knows the timestamp of when Jon asks Vegan Gains, when he asks Richard, if you, right, because Richard loves these hypotheticals. So Jon Venus goes, Richard, if you knew that eating an egg would save your life, right? Like, you were going to die, you were going to basically die if you didn't eat eggs, would you eat eggs? And he's like, no, Jon, I wouldn't. Because I'm not selfish like you, Jon. I'm not selfish like you. I can't do his soy voice as good, but let's see if we could find that clip.
And then your brother Leo, who's just hugging your fucking nuts, says, it's not a big deal, forget about it. Just forget about it. So that's the issue, Jon. Look, Jon, if you would just fucking come out and say, Jon, if you would just come out and say, listen, if you would just come out and say, what I did was fucking stupid, I had no reason, no good...
He ate 3 eggs, by the way. He bought a dozen eggs, and he ate like 6 of them. He didn't even finish the dozen eggs, and this is Vegan Gains' reaction.
Good reason to do it. I wasn't in the right state of mind. I totally regret it. I'll never do that again. This would have been a different story. I wouldn't have had a fucking issue. And I would have no problem calling you vegan right now. But you're just playing these this fucking word games, mental gymnastics, refusing to acknowledge that what you did was wrong, trying to play the victim. Sorry?
This is a lie because this is a complete lie because you on the video where I was talking about the label issue.
Who knows the timestamp? We need that timestamp. He was so mad. Maybe we can get Vegan Gains and Jon Venus on. Jon Venus has agreed he's going to come on. We're going to get the exclusive. We'll get the Jon Venus. He'll be able to come on. I don't know when he's going to be down for it. I don't know. It'd be cool if we can get Bobby to come on at the same time.
Are bred in a way where they produce just...
I'm trying to find this.
Your dog animal products. That's
Jon, let's actually cover that. So when we got the dog, she was violently ill.
Okay, hold on. All right, here's the best part.
Was I making a good point?
What I'm saying, it's possible that the way you do things has a negative impact.
I'm trying to find this. I'm sorry, guys.
Looks so crazy that people...
I'm not in support of the idea that vegans should starve their pets to death if they can't...
Okay, all right, so here's a good part. So Jon Venus calls Vegan Gains out for... Vegan Gains got caught for having a whole fridge full of meat that he was feeding this dog that he bought from a breeder. Right? He bought this special dog from a breeder, and then he tried to lie about it, and then doubled down and tried to lie about it more, and he had a whole freezer full of meat because they were killing the dog with the vegan diet, and they had to give it meat. So...
At a human being... Look, if you're not going to do whatever you have to do to ensure that something isn't going to die while it's under your care, I'm sorry, I don't support the idea that vegans should starve animals to death. Jon, I'm not in support of the idea. Jon, I'm not in support of the idea that vegans should starve their pets to death if they can't feed it vegan food. That's just bad from a number of perspectives.
So it's okay to cause suffering as long as you're saving your own pets, but then it's okay to cause suffering for other animals that is not part of your family. Because if they're not part of your family, it's okay.
No, John, this is John, no, that's not what I'm saying.
What you said.
This would be
John, that's not what I'm saying. Look, this is outside the scope of our conversation anyway.
This is outside the scope of our conversation, John. We're not speaking about this, John. And then he ends the live stream there. So I'm trying to find the best clip, though. One more attempt. Let's see if we can find it. When Jon Venus says, if you were going to die, would you eat eggs if they would keep you from dying?
I mean, 100%. You did the right thing, but
Okay, so then what the fuck are you talking about?
Right?
What are you talking about then?
Buying and supporting breeders was the mistake in the first place.
Okay, well, I didn't know that person was a breeder, and we didn't buy the dog we adopted.
Okay, so they're talking about
the
his
center of the
dog for a
universe
while.
where I can just murder things because...
Oh, here we go.
You wouldn't eat animals.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I should have all this timestamp, but I can't stand Vegan Gains' voice anymore. Right? Part of me kind of has like sympathy for Richard. Right? I like all people, but look how mad. Look at the hatred in his eyes. Look at the hatred. Look at the hangriness in his eyes as Jon Venus reveals how crazy this dude is. Listen to this.
I mean, everyone cares more about themselves than the animals. Everyone does.
Oh, let's back it up. Sorry.
And your question, obviously,
John, obviously
we're
you'd be
vegan, man.
against that.
Obviously we're. Exactly, man.
Here we go.
I mean,
So yeah, that's the difference. The only reason, look, John, the only reason you fucking did it, the only reason you pulled the trigger and started eating eggs, even though it was only a short-term experiment where you only ate 12 eggs. Look, the only reason you pulled the trigger was because
He only ate 3. He ate 3 eggs. Right. So I don't know. John coming on Vegan Gains right here. This is what probably turned him. Like, I had some conversations with John in the past. He came on, he talked to Bobby and I. You could tell that he was like teetering on the verge of seeing how stupid this is. And it's really hard when you've built this whole online persona, you've built this whole false reality around yourself as being the vegan guy, right? These vegans worship this dude, right? He's like the most jacked vegan. He's the most jacked and fit vegan bodybuilder. He's good looking. Right? Everybody loved Jon Venus. He was their golden boy. Well, what about Jon Venus? He shows you could build muscle on a vegan diet. Right? He was their golden boy. And he was teetering. It's hard for you to leave that. When you have this reality built around you, this false construct, it's really hard to leave it. All right, so props to Jon Venus. I haven't said that yet. Props to Jon for getting back his life, for coming back to Team Humanity, for dropping this nonsensical vegan bullshit. But this is I'm telling you, who cares about all these other new videos? This is the moment right here where it's like, this dude sees it, right? And he stood up to Richard, right? He didn't have to get all aggressive and like Richard does. He just sat back and let Richard eat himself up. Listen to what he says.
cared more about yourself than the animals, when that was totally unjustified.
I mean, everyone cares more about themselves than the animals. Everyone does.
Oh, really?
And claiming that you don't means that you don't fully understand, what it means to be a human being. But
right there. So that's pretty obvious, right? So Vegan Games trying to posture like he cares more about the animals than himself. Joey Carbstrong does the same thing. We'll watch some clips from Joey Carbstrong in a bit. These people, they're so wrapped up in this cult ideology that they are actually professing that they will sacrifice themselves, their own health, at the altar of the crickets and the chickens and the cows. Right? The mosquitoes. Oh, those poor mosquitoes. They're sentient. So John says everybody cares more about themselves than they do about the animals, dude. Right? There's no like pandering going on here. John's just sitting here. He's talking to Vegan Gains. I like this video more than John's even coming out as not vegan video, right? Or trans vegan. I don't know if he's trans vegan, but I mean, if he is, he's going to experience a lot of transphobia. Even YouTube is transphobic against this channel, unfortunately. Right? But they haven't demonetized it yet, so you guys can still send those super chats. If you guys want to support the work here, send those super chats, guys. So let's let's see what Vegan Gains has to say about that statement. Everybody cares more about themselves than the animals, or you don't know what it's like to be human. Right? Which, to somebody like Vegan Gains, who's expressed straight up psychopathy, who filmed his grandfather's death and mocked his dead grandfather, who's constantly mocking people sick and dying because they're not vegan. Right? Is your daddy vegan? Is your mama vegan? Your grandfather wasn't, right? And that's why he died, or else everyone would still be alive, right? Nobody ever died. The only reason anybody ever dies is because of non-veganism, according to these nuts like Vegan Gains. So let's see what he has to say.
It was because you cared more about yourself than the animals, when that was totally unjustified.
I mean, everyone cares more about themselves than the animals. Everyone does.
Oh, really?
And claiming that you don't means that you don't fully understand, what it means to be a human being. But, I don't blame you if you disagree with that.
Okay, so to what extent do we matter more? So to what extent do we matter more? Do you think we matter more to an extent where it's totally fine to kill their male offspring, modify their genes so they die of genetic diseases? To what extent do we matter more?
Well, are you saying that...
This is Vegan Gains, by the way, who's also pro-reproductive health services. He's pro-infanticide.
If you would not eat animals if you knew you were going to die in a month if you didn't?
No, I wouldn't. I don't care.
You wouldn't eat animals?
No.
Yeah, and you think that is, the same answer that everyone else was
I don't care what everyone else will give. Look, John.
But what does that say about you?
Look, John, that says I'm not so selfish that I think I'm at the center of the universe where I can just murder things because my back kind of hurts. It hasn't been getting better in a while.
Yeah, but if you're going to kill yourself, for the animals, what's the point?
Look, John,
no, I understand, man.
Look, John, this is a moral...
Notice it's the same thing. It's kind of look, John, this is beyond the scope of our conversation. It's the same thing he does when he gets cornered, right? He weasels out of it. Look, John, let me just switch up the conversation here. Let me change direction here. Look, I'm not selfish like you, John. I will die for the crickets and the cows and the chickens, John. Look. This clip right here. This is probably this is one of my favorite things that's ever happened in all this stupid ass vegan shit online, right? We've been covering this vegan world for so long. These people are freaking pathetic. These people are so pathetic. I cannot stand watching some of these people, right? Jon, what's his face? Not Jon, Vegan Gains, Richard's newest video about Jon Venus. I don't know if I can stomach watching that again. I watched the whole thing yesterday. It's just him whining the whole time. John, you don't care about the animals and the science, and you're a liar, John. You're lying. You're lying, John. I can't stand this nonsense. I can't stand this shit. But this clip right here is so important. This shows you there's so many layers. There's so much going on, right? There's the layer of Vegan Gains blatantly lying and saying he would die for the animals when he wouldn't even let a dog die for the animals, right? He had a fridge full of meat for that dog. There's so much going on here. There's so much dishonesty. And you could see it in his body language, in his face, and you could see it in Jon Venus, that there's no way that he can remain. This dude has a child. Jon Venus isn't some LARPing gamer online, right? Reenacting his... hashing out over and over again his the sadomasochistic spite for humanity like Vegan Gains. Jon Venus actually has a family. This guy has a child, a human child, right? Not a bunny rabbit in his house that he treats like a child. Not a dying chicken that he keeps in his house on a chicken wheelchair like those annoying vegans, reading bedtime stories to it. Right? Jon Venus is not a mentally ill, broken vegan LARPing online. And you could see it right here. You see the real Jon Venus. He's comfortable, right? This is before he left veganism. He's still vegan at this point. I had spoken to him behind the scenes, and he was like, he was still vegan. I know people are saying, oh, he's a liar. Vegan Gains, he's a liar. He's lying. He must be a liar. This dude was still vegan up until a few weeks back. Not that long ago. But this is when you know that Jon is out of it. He's no longer buying it. How can you buy into this when you see this?
Same answer that everyone else was.
I don't care what everyone else will give. Look, Jon.
What does that say about you?
Look, Jon. That says I'm not so selfish that I think I'm at the center of the universe where I can just murder things because my back kind of hurts. It hasn't been getting better in a while.
Yeah, but if you're gonna kill yourself, for the animals, what's the point?
Look, Jon.
No, I understand, man. Like, I'm interested.
Look, Jon. This is a moral topic that is outside of the scope of the actual discussion. So I'm not going to bother right now. Look, I'm not going to bother right now. Look, what were your health issues? Look, what were your health issues that you were actually thinking of, like that you were having issues with before you ate these eggs? Bad back. I know that. What else?
Yeah.
Were you just feeling kind of down, depressed?
So just feeling kind of down, depressed. I mean, it's sad, right? Like I've got sympathy for Richard because he obviously, look at him. Look how tense he is. Look at his breathing patterns. Look at his skin is gray. Are you down, depressed? No, dude, but you are, and we all see it, and you talk about it all the time. And if you had adequate nutrition, and if you would get out of this stupid-ass bubble that you put yourself in, this false identity of Vegan Gains, the savior of veganism, right? King of the incel vegan gamers. If you would get out of that bubble, maybe you wouldn't be so freaking miserable, Richard. Maybe you wouldn't be so freaking miserable. Maybe you wouldn't see yourself as a non-essential person who should die because of the animals. We all know that if you really knew that it was you or animals, you would choose to eat animals. And to say otherwise, you're obviously dishonest because you say otherwise and then you say, no, this is outside the scope of our conversation, Jon. You're seething inside with hatred, with spite. Maybe you're just hangry, dude. Maybe you're just hangry. But there's a lot more going on, right? There's a lot more going on. You also reject a lot of other things other than just animal foods that you should embrace. So anyways, Arius Augusta sends a super chat, sends $5, says, can we get a review of Jon's BLM video? Maybe next time, but Arius Augusta, that's outside the scope of our conversation, okay? That's outside the scope of our conversation. Listen, look, Arius Augusta, that's outside the scope of our conversation. The Real Cooter Brown says $3.99. Any advice on getting into eating organ meats? Absolutely, man. Start slow. Right, a lot of people say start with liver. I love liver. I haven't had garlic in a long time. I've had garlic like twice in the last year. And I don't use a lot of spices on my stuff. I'm basic, right? I went through a period of time where it was like my digestion kind of required to go really elemental. I can handle a lot more foods now, but I still find myself feeling best when I don't include, I don't give a shit about broccoli. I don't care about the green leafy vegetables, right? If you focus on the good quality animal foods as the baseline of your diet, you're going to feel better. You're going to function better. Speaking of which, I still haven't finished my cheese. This stuff is so freaking good. This is some of the best cheese. So how can you get more organ meats in the diet? Let's see. I'll give a plug. First of all, plug Jessica's book here, The Carnivore Cookbook, 0 carb recipes for people who really love animals. It's been a while since I plugged this one. We show you how to make nose to tail, good quality animal foods. And also in our book that came out like 5 years ago, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, we show you how to use organs as well. Start with like liver. All right, maybe it's just some sauteed liver. I really like kidney, right? But I have to be sympathetic to other people because kidney is an acquired taste. Kidney's very fatty. I love the fat in kidney. The fat in the center of kidney is amazing. The fat surrounding the kidney is amazing. So I really like Also liver pate. So I had some garlic in the liver pate. Sorry, I didn't finish that thought. I haven't had garlic in a couple of years. I had garlic like twice in the last year with liver pate. It was so good. I had a bunch of it yesterday and the day before. I had liver pate on top of a burger patty. So that's another thing you can do, right? Liver pate, really good if you make it correctly. So we show you how to make these things in the Carnivore Cookbook. If you check out the website, if you go to the link in the description, you will find plenty of organ meat recipes. Search liver, how to make liver. Jessica's got an email series of how to make delicious organ meats. What is it? Organ meats that you actually want to eat, I think is what it's called. So anyways, you can check out the book or you can check out the free recipes on the website. Liver's good. Kidney's good. It's all good.
For a very short period, I felt some depression, for sure. But the only physical, symptom I had was the herniated disc, which I had for 14 months.
Okay, well, cool, John. So I had suicidal depression since I was about 6 years old. And look, I've had multiple knee surgeries on this knee. It's fucked. It doesn't even bend properly. I didn't eat eggs. So what is that?
What's your point?
Does that show a...
There you go. So Richard is suffering for the animals, right? Richard is suffering for all the animals. Richard saving the animals and suffering for them. So Jon Venus wasted years of his life on a vegan diet, wasted years of his life pretending like he believed in the ethics of veganism. Jon Venus, no longer vegan, and this is when it started. It started before this, right? Every single vegan has this nagging voice in the back of their head telling them, eat freaking meat, eat animal foods, just eat the dang egg. Just eat the dang egg. Go outside. Grab a bunny rabbit and eat that thing. Get some eggs and eat them. Right? Every single vegan's got that in the back of their head. None of these vegans want to be starving themselves, want to be hangry. All right, but this is a better video for understanding why somebody like Jon Venus would and should leave veganism than any other video we're going to watch today, but we got to watch other videos today. Everybody, the brother of Jon Venus, Leo, Dr. Leo Penis.
So as many of you are aware, my brother
as any of you are aware. All right, so I've watched about a minute of this video, but let's guess. Let me just take a guess of where this is going. So we're going to see Leo Venus squinting to the camera, pursing his lips, and talking about how Leo Venus is so intelligent, and he will probably also bring up the science. Leo Penis will also talk about how the science says that a vegan diet is so good. But Leo Venus will never actually talk about any actual scientific research. He will only posture for the camera and say, I am a doctor, I'm a medical doctor, Leo Venus. Excuse me, I'm Leo Penis. Yes, I'm a child. I think it's hilarious to call Leo Venus Leo Penis. So Jon Venus has earned his footing. Jon Venus, in my opinion, when he had that conversation with Vegan Gains, after that, the fact that he let Vegan Gains try and shame him like that, and I told him this in private message, I told him this is pathetic. And you know what else I told him? I told him, is this really what you want your son to grow up around? Watch this video, Jon Venus. Watch the video with Vegan Gains. I know you're probably going to watch this stream, John. Where is it? Watch the stream. I already closed it. Watch that stream with Vegan Gains. And tell me you're not so stoked to leave this cult now. I know you are. But you remember what I told you, man, after that. I said, do you want your child, you want your son to see this and to see his father being shamed by these freaking dweebs online, these LARPing fake activists sitting in their gamer chairs, pretending like they're saving the world by eating tofu burgers and shaming you for eating 3 eggs and for thinking about maybe eating other animal foods before crawling back before them. Is this what you want for your kid? And I'm pretty sure that's not what Jon Venus wanted for his kid, and that's why he left this shit. And of course, Leo Penis, he doesn't have kids. Leo Penis has his doctorate, and he has an opportunity to be the best looking, most fit and young vegan doctor. All right, so let's see what Leo Venus has to say.
So as many of you are aware, my brother Jon recently posted a video where he announced to the world that he is no longer vegan, and as is naturally the case, over the last 24 hours I've been bombarded with questions on all platforms asking me what's going on. Is Jon doing?
I think if I squint my head and I shake it a lot, I don't really have to say anything. I just mention I'm a doctor every once in a while, and people will think I'm intelligent.
Okay, why is he no longer vegan? What are his health concerns? Are you still vegan? All that kind of stuff. So first, let me just say, Jon has asked me not to talk about his health concerns publicly. He has made it very clear.
All right, so on a scale of like 1 to 10, how much smarmy arrogance it just exudes from Leo Venus, right? I'd say he's like a 9. And Dr. Gregor being a 10. On a scale of 1 to Gregor, how smarmy and arrogant is this dude?
In his video that he does not want his health information.
And it's a fake arrogance too, by the way, right? It's not like a like an earned cockiness, right? It's not like the, like you see a rooster strutting around the yard. It's not like that. It's like this fake unearned, right? I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe some more eloquent ways of describing it will come to be later on, but it's unearned smarm.
To be public information, and as his brother, I totally respect that. As a medical doctor, I totally understand that. Some people don't want their health to be public. In fact, most people do not want their health information to be public information. So that is totally understandable. All I can say is I'm not worried about Jon's health, and I'm not really worried about anyone else's health in the family. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of response videos. I'm not interested in any of that. I love Jon too.
I'm not interested in any of that. That's why I made a response video in the first 24 hours of my brother Jon telling you he's not vegan.
Bits. I love Catherine. I love Noah. We're still going to continue being a happy family, and nothing can change that. Now, obviously, Jon has had his doubts for a while about this lifestyle, and I've had to...
The real Cooter Brown says, drinking game, take a shot every time Leo says that he's a doctor in any given video. First of all, let's give Leo Penis some credit here. Dr. Leo P has not mentioned him being a doctor yet. It's 1 minute in out of a 5-minute video. And Leo Venus has not appealed to his own omnipotent, potent authority yet. We'll see.
Say this before, that just because we are brothers does not mean we have to be on the same page about absolutely everything. Jon is his own man, and he makes his own decisions. And
so, okay, wait, Leo. So let me get this straight. Okay, so you're saying that you're still going to be brothers with Jon, even though he's not a vegan? Even though he's not a vegan? That's just so sad. Did you think about the animals, Leo? Vegan Gains is probably really pissed right now that Leo is not disowning Jon. And so Leo starts out, blah, 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 blah. I say nothing. 1 minute in, he said nothing. He loves his brother, right? Oh, bombshell. He loves his brother. Cool.
Of course, this isn't going to look the best for the vegan movement for a while, but it's not that big of a deal. We still have the science. We still have a ton of people. And,
the science. All right, the science. We got the science. All right, just like the coronavirus. Just like the hashtag climate crisis. Leo Venus and the vegans have the science. You guys get that? You science denier, science phobe bigots, he has the science.
The anti-vegan movements, I'm sure there's a lot of people there celebrating that Jon is no longer vegan. But they always like to tout this thing, vegans are following this ideology, we're all religious, this is the reason we're doing it, we're too emotional, too irrational to actually follow the science. But this is not the case. For myself, and for a lot of people I know, it is precisely the science that actually got us into
right? Like, we stand on the science, right? The science of 3 times the science. What science? The science.
Involved in veganism. It was actually the research that...
All right, so let's update Cooter Brown's drinking game. Don't take a shot every time he says, I'm a doctor. Take a shot every time Leo Venus says the science without even really referencing any actual science.
Pull this in to this movement, and this is what I do. I am a medical doctor. I have a long background in science, and this is what I'm good at.
Cha-ching!
It's understanding the science. It is actually looking at the research and coming to the most rational conclusions. And
You freaking dork. You freaking dork. Remember when you came on my stream and you debated Sean Baker and you just kept saying, oh, well, you know, I don't deny the science. The science and the science. Dude, Leo Penis. This is so good. All right, here we go.
I am a medical doctor. I have a long background in science, and this is what I'm good at. It's understanding the science. And this is what I do. I am a medical doctor. I have a long background in science, and this is what I'm good at. It's understanding the science.
Okay, so, hey, Leo Penis. Remember when you came on and you debated the medical doctor, Dr. Sean Baker? And you tried to pretend like you'd never even heard of him, even though you're the one who was calling him out in your videos, and you came on here and you made a complete fool of yourself? Leo Penis. I know you're a glutton for punishment. I know you're a glutton for punishment. You should come on. You should come on. And let's do a debate. Leo Penis against Paul Saladino, right? Dr. Leo Venus. Dr. Leo Venus against Dr. Paul Saladino. You guys can debate the science, right? That would be fun. All right. I know you wanted to debate. You were going to debate Bart K, but then you guys backed out. Both. I don't know who didn't want to do it. We couldn't nail it down. Come back on, Dr. Leo Venus with a V. Come back on. Debate Paul Saladino or debate Sean Baker again, right? Let's debate the science, okay? Come back, Leo. You have the science on your side, yet you never seem to be able to reference any legitimate science. You just say the science over and over again. You're like the Anderson Cooper of narcissistic, fake vegan doctors.
Doctor, I have a long background.
Remember, Anderson Cooper says, you're better than Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper says, as in the intro of this video, he was not a good science student. And then he asked Greta Thunberg if we should just listen to the scientists. So I guess you definitely, you would agree, right? You and Anderson Cooper both listen to the science and the scientists.
In science, and this is what I'm good at. It's understanding the science. It is actually looking at the research and coming to the most rational conclusions. And in the almost 8 years of being vegan that I've gone through now, I still to this day have not seen a single logical argument for why everybody could not follow a vegan diet.
You hear that, guys? There's not a single logical argument for why everybody could not follow a vegan diet. Because of the science.
So in terms of my position, guys, I'm still where I've always been. I have not changed my position at all. And as a scientist, I'm always remaining open-minded.
And as a scientist who's never published any scientific research or been involved in any scientific research, all I did was get my MD, and now I call myself Dr. Leo Venus. I've never seen a patient or treated a patient, but the science. Let's come over here to the chat. What's up, guys? All right, I know you guys, a lot of you guys are probably wasted right now if you actually played the drinking game. Man, if you actually played that drinking game, you guys would be smashed. Leo Venus, the science, I'm a doctor, the science, as a scientist. And so, Dr. Leo Venus is as much of a scientist and as much of a doctor as Dr. Michael Greger, coming at you live from my treadmill. Slurring my speech not because I'm drunk, but because I'm barely paying attention to the words that I'm saying. Because I'm Dr. Greger, stoked and excited to be with you today, completely manic, and barely paying attention from my treadmill. Alright guys, hit the thumbs up or you hate the science. Who here likes science? You guys like the science? Who here likes the science? If you don't like the science, you will not hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Send them super chats. What's up, Ortiz over in San Luis Obispo? in occupied territory, California. FEMA region number 9, California. Carnival, what's up, dude? We need rain, man. We need rain. The science. The science. You guys know that the science says if you send super chats, you're not a bigot and not a racist.
One of the things, the fundamental pillars of science, that if better information comes in, you have to be available to change your mindset. And I am very open-minded in that way. I'm always challenging people to send me information regarding why vegan diets could not work. But every single time somebody has sent me information of the allegedly why the vegan diet cannot work, why it cannot be adequate, why it cannot be optimal, when I sit down and I look at the research, when I look at the science has been on the side of veganism every single time. And for those of you who aren't good at looking at the research, for those of you who don't like looking over studies and devouring the literature, it doesn't have to be that difficult. Just take a look at the people who are spearheading the anti-vegan movement. Not to be offensive, but they're all clowns. Now look.
Okay, so the science. People who don't like veganism, clowns. There you go. There you go, Venus. Hey, Leo Venus. Why don't you come on? Let's debate the science, bro. You can even debate me. I'm part of the unwashed masses. I'm a non-essential person. Come and debate this non-essential person. Or come debate Sean Baker again. Or come debate Paul Saladino. Who else could you debate? I don't know. I'm trying to think of other doctors who promote not veganism. Not a vegan diet. Ricky Martin. Hey, Ricky Martin, who found a time machine. Leo Venus. Come on here and debate. It could be me, Sean Baker again, Paul Saladino, anybody. Come debate the science, bro. The science. Oh, these anti-vegans, they're all clowns. I'm Leo Penis. I'm not a clown. I have MD. I am Leo Venus. I shake my head. I squint my eyes. I'm on a scale of 1 to Dr. Gregor. I am an 8 in smarminess.
Look at the people who are spearheading the vegan movement, right? And then more importantly, look at the information that the anti-vegan circles are using to back up their claims. And then look at the information that the vegan movement uses. You don't have to be a genius.
Okay, so non-vegans, clowns. Vegans, thumbs up, right? Vegans, not clowns. Non-vegan information, lame. Vegan information, Leo Venus just BTFO'd us all. We're done, guys. Anti-vegans, done.
Difficult. Just take a look at the people who are spearheading the anti-vegan movement. Not to be offensive, but they're all clowns. Now look at the people who are spearheading the vegan movement, right?
Okay. Leo Venus, come on here. Talk to this clown. Come prove your vegan diet to me. Right? Come on. Come on here. Make your points. Make your points to this clown. Let's see what happens.
And then more importantly, look at the information that the anti-vegan circles are using to back up their claims. And then look at the information that the vegan movement uses. You don't have to be a genius to understand basic nutrition, and you don't have to be a genius to look at what information is reliable, who seems to have dropped the ball, and who seems to actually know what they're talking about. It's not that difficult. So if you have your doubts about veganism, if you are in fear about everything or anything, send me the research, send me the evidence, send me the facts that you're worried about.
All right, so Leo, dude, you don't realize you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not convincing any of these people who are doubting veganism. You just sound like a sycophantic buffoon right now, who is so high on his own supply, who is appealing to his own authority. You've presented no argument. Basically, you're saying your brother is an idiot and a clown for not being vegan anymore. You're pandering. You're trying to pander to the people who are on the fence, but you're insulting them, and you're insulting their intelligence by pretending that you're some sort of authority just because you say, I am not a clown. Everybody who says differently than me, they're clowns. Oh. You're not doing yourself any favor, Leo. You're looking like a giant penis right now. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I know you think you're super clever and you're super intelligent because you call yourself Dr. Leo Penis. But dude, your brother is twice the man you are. Let's see. Has a wife and a family. Check. Not a vegan sycophant trying to pander to a bunch of idiots. Check. Not a member of a pathetic dehumanization cult that will try and shame you for eating 3 eggs or even considering eating 3 eggs. Check. Your brother is a notch above you, dude. And you're over here trying to shit on him in an underhanded, effeminate, stupid way. I hope your brother crushes your Leo penis. I hope he grabs you by your Leo penis and squeezes you by your Leo penis head.
The vegan movement, not to be offensive, but they're all clowns. Now look at the people who are spearheading the vegan movement, right? And then more importantly,
yeah, right. Look at the people that are spearheading the non-vegan movement, huh? They're clowns, yes. Look at the people that are spearheading vegan movement, yeah? Not clowns, right? We have Dr. Gregor. We have Dr. Gregor. I don't know why Leo turns into like a semi-Russian accent. I'm sorry. We have Dr. Gregor. Leo Venus, me. Highly attractive. Almost as charming, almost as smarmy as Dr. Gregor. Huh? Okay? And look at non-vegans, right? They have, what, 97% of population, right? Right, all professional athletes. Okay, whatever. Most people on the planet, yes? Okay, whatever. But look, we have Dr. Gregor. We have Leo Penis. You are clowns. Me? I'm not a clown. Alright, we got Del Bridge here. Del Bridge sending that super chat, sending $10 super chat, says, I love your channel, Tristan. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Del Bridge. God bless, man. We feel very blessed to be able to do what we do. We feel very blessed to have such an awesome audience and people who support us like you. All right, so appreciate the support. You guys who have sent super chats, appreciate that support. You know, YouTube ain't supporting this channel. And maybe with some of those super chats, we'll set up like a proper soundproofing in this room. But I like my office here. I like my high ceilings. Look at that beautiful high ceiling. I think if I cover the windows, though, I got these windows. I think the windows are the main problem. Oh yeah, you guys keep sending those super chats, and we're going to put that into putting out better content here and continuing what we do and support good content like this, because you know YouTube will not. So let's keep going with Leo.
Look at the information that the anti-vegan circles are using to back up their claims. And then look at the information that the vegan movement uses. You don't have
the vegan movement uses. What information, dude? You mean Dr. Gregor?
To be a genius to understand basic nutrition, and you don't have to be a genius to look at what information is reliable, who seems to have dropped the ball, and who seems to actually know what they're talking about. It's not that difficult.
So again, he's provided no reasons why we should believe the vegans over the non-vegans. No reason. He just says, oh, they're stupid. They're clowns.
Have your doubts about veganism. If you are in fear about everything or anything, send me the research, send me the evidence, send me the facts that you're worried about. Right? This is what it's about, is looking at the evidence. It's not just listening to what people are saying. It's look at the evidence. Send me some...
The evidence. Again, just like all Leo Venus's videos, provide zero evidence.
Some objective facts on why you are worried. Because like I said, on the 8 years that I've been doing this, I've never seen a good scientific reason for why everybody couldn't be vegan. So that's all I can really say about this matter. When it comes to vegans versus anti-vegans, one is based on fact and science and evidence. The other one is based on fears and tradition. Especially tradition is used as a very heavy sticking point in the anti-vegan circle. So really, that's all I want to say. In the end of this video, I want to end on an optimistic note by saying that veganism has never been this strong. It's easy to get bummed out when you see stuff like this, but never has there been as many people open-minded towards veganism. There haven't ever been as many people open to trying vegan alternative products. There have never been as many people open-minded to trying more plant-based recipes. And in the West, at least, the trend is overwhelmingly positive towards a vegan diet. So
full of shit. We still all think you guys are dorks. We still all think you guys are pathetic. And we still all think that veganism is so fake and so lame. So what are you talking about, Leo? All right, so we're done with Leo. Let's move on. The science. Here's, you guys check out the live with Jon Venus, eggs vegan. Get it? Little pun there. Eggs vegan, like eggs vegan. Egggate, and then Vegan Gain stole my egg. I can't believe he stole my Egggate. He stole the Egggate title. And he talked with John. I think he talked to John like the next day or 2 days later. So John came on. He talked to me and Bobby, and that was a really fun chat. So check this one out as well. You can kind of see him trying to like push against. If you watch this one live with Jon Venus on my channel, and then the Vegan Gains one, watch this one first, and then the Vegan Gains, and then maybe rewatch this one. Fascinating, right? You get to a look into the mind, into the life, into the perspective of somebody who's right on the fence, who's right about to leave the cult. And it's a really, really interesting one. So yeah, I know everybody misses Bobby. We'll have Bobby on the show soon. Bobby's got crappy internet service, so he's not able to do live streams. But maybe when John comes on, we can get Bobby to, maybe Bobby can go and, I don't know, go to an internet savvy hotel room or something where he's got good quality connection. He's in Germany. We got to get Bobby on with John. That would be fun. But anyways, John has said he will come on. John has opened up the door to coming on. We're going to get that. Hopefully we'll get the first Jon Venus. We'll get the exclusive Jon Venus first live stream. Maybe we can get Vegan Gain. Maybe we can do a vegan call-in episode, right? We get Jon Venus to come on and vegans can call in. Right? Vegan Gains can call in. We're not even going to watch Vegan Gains' new video. It's so boring. Let's go straight to Joey Carbstrong. Straight to Joey Carbstrong. Look at those totally sane and healthy eyes on Joey Carbstrong. Del Bridge, first of all, sends $10. Before we get into Joey Carbstrong, we got some super chats. Del Bridge sending $10. Says, I tried a vegan diet about 10 times. Every time I did it, I lose a lot of weight, get major acne outbreaks, tired and weak from loss of muscle mass. Where are the top tier pro-vegan bodybuilders? Well, Jon Venus was one of the closest ones. All right, we got a guy with great genetics. We got a guy who put in a lot of hard work with bodybuilding. A guy who did as well as he could do veganism, right? If anybody did it right, it was Jon Venus. But in the end, he left. In the end, he cared more about the future of his child. He cared more about reality than LARPing like he was changing the world as an activist. And he cared less about money. And he cared less about clout and fame and being a fake vegan idol than he did about being a real human being and raising his child healthy and happy. So I commend Jon Venus. All right, we've got to give some respect for that. He left it. He cares more about his kid than he does about his money. And that shows to me, I don't care what anybody else says. You guys can all shit on Jon Venus. You guys can say, look, I've got criticisms as well. I have criticisms as well. I wish he never pandered to this audience and groveled to them and apologized. But you know what? We all got our own way of going about it, right? And it's hard to leave that. It's hard to leave that. But you know what? I got to commend Jon Venus. He stepped up. And in my eyes, Jon Venus, he's a real man. He cares more about his kid. He cares more about the future of his child, the health of his family, than he does about money, than he does about veganism, than he does about being a little cult leader. All right, so we got a couple more super chats here. Jade Masquerade says, will Carnivore Cookbook help me when it's time to turn Bambi into venison? Turning Bambi into venison. Jade Masquerade. Jade Masquerade. Thought crimes against veganity right there. Look, we don't show you how to gut and dress wild game animals in the Carnivore Cookbook. But the Carnivore Cookbook, we do show you how to eat nose to tail. All right, so everything you see here that applies to beef, that applies to any ruminant animal, is going to apply to wild game as well. Of course, wild game is going to have less fat. Right? So you're going to want to add fats. All right, so I would say that it would definitely be useful in learning how to prepare nutrient-dense, whole, unrefined animal foods, nose to tail. But it's not going to show you how to clean that animal. It's not going to show you how to gut that animal. Right? There are plenty of really good tutorials on YouTube. So if you do end up breaking down Bambi into some good quality venison, you could use some of what's provided there in the Carnivore Cookbook, but you're probably going to find really good resources on YouTube for that. And thank you for the $5 super chat. The Real Cooter Brown, what's up, man? Or woman, sends $2.50, says, any thoughts on veganism being a legit death cult? I mean, isn't that what we just showed? Vegan Gain saying, no, John, I'll die for the animals because I'm not selfish like you, John. It is absolutely a death cult. It is about sacrificing your own health and fasting your whole life, right? Not eating animal foods is fasting, right? In Eastern Orthodoxy, fasting is not eating animal foods. You're fasting your whole life. You are depriving yourself of the super necessary nutrients that you can only get from animal foods. Vitamin D, vitamin K2, vitamin A in the fat-soluble form, heme iron, iodine. You're not going to find these in abundance in plant food sources. So veganism is a death cult. You're starving yourself. You're sacrificing yourself and your kids for the animals. And you know what? John left it. And what are these vegans so triggered about? John's not hangry anymore. And they're all still hangry. And they're all still clutching on to this false religion, this false ideology that exalts starvation, right? And really, veganism actually, not only is it a death cult because you're starving yourself, they also justify antinatalism. And antinatalism is huge in the vegan movement.
Have a podcast with him. Now,
all right, so let's start from the beginning with Joey Carbstrong here. So Joey Carbstrong, one of our favorites here on this channel. Joey Carbstrong is notoriously hilarious. Basically a caricature of the obnoxious, angry vegan, right? The obnoxious vegan activist. He's the archetype of the vegan whacktivist. Here's Joey Carbstrong.
Plant-based, animal-abusing apologists.
Plant-based.
Who care more about, the way they look than the way the animals feel. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So this video here is about Jon Venus. He recently uploaded a video saying, I'm not vegan anymore. Big surprise. It wasn't a surprise to me. It wasn't a surprise probably to a lot of people. He's done this before. This time it looks like he's really serious. He's really like, that's it. He's not going to be a vegan anymore. Like a vegan means you're anti-animal abuse. So he's basically gone from being anti-animal abuse to being pro-animal abuse, so an animal abuser. And, it's like someone was saying, yeah, I'm anti...
I like so going back, let's harken back to Leo Venus. Look at these people that are not about veganism. The anti-vegans, right? Anti-vegan. Nobody's anti-vegan. We're just pro-health. We're pro-humanity. And look at the anti-vegans. They're clowns. Look at them. And then look at the vegans. Take Leo's advice, vegans. Take his advice. Look at the anti-vegans. Well, some of them are a little bit kooky. Some of them are just as obnoxious as the vegans. But most of us, right? Look at non-vegans. Look at the non-vegans. And then look at the vegans.
Racism, and then the next week they're like, nah, I'm actually kind of racist. I'm going to introduce a bit of racism into my lifestyle now. Or, I'm anti-domestic violence. Oh no, I'm going to introduce a little bit of domestic violence into my life.
Okay, so of course, Joey Carbstrong always got to go with the racism, anti-violence. Right, the anti-violence, I'm going to introduce a little bit of anti-violence into my lifestyle. Joey Carbstrong, remember, Joey Carbstrong is an ex-felon, right? Got out of prison, had his vegan awakening, made veganism his god. Now he rolls around and wants to trade, or wants to entrain the rest of the world into being vegan activists as well, right? Wants to project all of his spite, his hatred, his angst, his violent tendencies on everybody else, obsessed with slaughterhouse porn. There's a 40-minute video a vegan activist Joey Carbstrong made. Yeah, I'm getting tired, guys. I'm tired of these vegans, too. I'm tired of Joey Carbstrong. Right? Sometimes he's funny. Sometimes he's easy to make fun of. But, I mean, it seems like this one is just going to be him ranting and screaming. You did it wrong, mate. You hate the animals. So we might watch like 3 minutes of Joey, and then we're going to move on. Jane Doe sends £5. No, pounds. Sends £5. Says, have you seen any of You Did It Wrong's videos on Joey? They're hilarious. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And we've got some good videos about Joey as well. It's better to just, let's play some clips of. Let me come to my video real quick. Let me find, this is even better. Why watch Joey Carbstrong's video? Let's watch a clip from one of my videos that is very applicable. All right, we've got to let's take a look at what Joey Carbstrong is all about. Here we go. We're not going to watch the whole video. We'll watch a clip from it. Aggressive vegan irritant. Joey Carbstrong harasses 12-year-old boy. Let's find... Is this the one? Yes, and this is from a longer live stream called Joey Carbstrong, Dangerous Vegan Supremacist. Get it? Corny pun. Vegan supremacist Joey Carbstrong.
With me if he wants to have a chat. Come on. Come on, Mason, come and chat live. You shoot fish, let's talk about it. Mason? Mason?
How you doing?
How old are you, dude?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12?
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you the fisherman?
Yeah, I'm the fisherman.
Oh, dude. Dude, why did you come in my stream to tell us that you're shooting fish?
I didn't come here to tell you that you couldn't fish. I came here to tell you that you should fish.
Here, I think in the end of this video, there's a video. There we go. We got an edit. Here's Joey Carbstrong.
Right? Not slaughtering of animals. He talks about sick people. These are sick and twisted people with a sick and twisted worldview and ideology.
How you doing?
How old are you, dude?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You got a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. Hey, buddy.
What's your dog's name?
Hey, buddy.
I've got a dog. My dog's name's Snooky. She's around here somewhere, but animals do some really messed up shit in the wild, dude. They rape each other, they kill each other. Do you copy animals?
No, we don't copy animals.
Why are you copying animals?
Remember, this is a 12-year-old he's talking to. That's a 12-year-old.
Shit in the wild, dude. She's around here somewhere, but animals do some really messed up shit in the wild, dude. They rape each other, they kill each other. Do you copy animals?
No, we don't copy animals.
Why are you copying animals?
The way?
Why are you copying animals?
I didn't say we copy animals.
Does Mum cook your food for you?
Yeah. Hey, look. Yeah, look.
You're getting in trouble. Peace, brother. See you, mate. See you, bud.
Okay, so that was just a short mashup. There's like a 13-minute video of him talking to his to this 12-year-old. So that's Joey Carbstrong. That's what he's all about. He does his cube of truth. He likes to go out in the streets. The cube of truth. Anonymous voice for the voiceless. Insufferable vegan activist Joey Carbstrong. Here we go. Here's what he has to say to John.
Now, I beat my wife on the weekends. Oh, I'm anti-child abuse. Yeah, anti-child abuse for 5 years, and now I'm going to start, paying for children to be abused. And, when you're a vegan, you're anti-animal abuse. But a lot of these plant-based dieters and, athletes and, they think of veganism as a diet. Veganism's an ethical philosophy. I mean, how many times do I have to say this? It's not a...
Yeah, it's a religion. It's not a diet. We know, Joey. It's not a diet. It's a religion. It's a religion. Now, hopefully, I think he does give us... I watched about the first 5 minutes of this. Don't worry, I won't make you watch all of that. But I think he does give the definition of veganism, which we'll talk about when he does give it.
About your health. It's not about the environment. It's about the animals. It's very clear. Veganism is about the animals. Veganism is a lifestyle which seeks to exclude, as far as is practicable and possible, all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals. Boom.
Okay. As practicable and possible. All right, so for me, you know how much it's practicable to not eat animal foods? It's not practicable at all. And I claim that it's not possible at all, too. All right, so I do not remove animal foods from my diet, nor do I believe that it is cruelty or exploitation to eat animals, right? Because you say speciesism, right? You say speciesism is what we should consider when we're looking at whether it's right or wrong to whether it's morally correct to eat animals, right? Speciesism, right? Yet you don't believe it's wrong for other animals to eat animals. You believe that it's wrong for human beings to eat animals. So isn't that speciesist? Isn't that speciesist? The very definition of veganism is absolutely nonsensical. And me as a trans vegan, I'm trans vegan, right? I'm vegan for the social justice perks. I'm vegan for the animals and for all that stuff. Right? And for the views, right? I'm vegan for that stuff, like you. But I eat animal foods. I'm carnivore and omnivorous for the health benefits. Yeah. Yet you want to say that myself as a trans vegan, that I'm not valid. Right? And none of you, for some reason, you refuse to acknowledge all of my call-outs to debate me. Joey Carbstrong. Joey Carbstrong. So here's another call-out. Joey Carbstrong, come on the channel. Come debate me. Earthling Ed, Joey Carbstrong. Any of you vegan whacktivists, come on my channel and debate. Please. Please. Paul Bashir, your buddy at Anonymous Voice for the Voiceless, said he was going to come on, and then it was radio silent. He backed out. What's wrong, dude? Are you guys trans vegan phobic? Are you guys transphobes? I think so.
And cruelty to animals. Boom. Where does it say, oh, it's about your health, it's a plant? We don't have to go through this. Anyone who follows me knows this. Anyone who understands the true principle of veganism knows this. Jon Venus keeps forgetting. Now, he made a video a while back going, I don't want to be associated with the word vegan anymore.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Maybe he didn't want to be associated with kooks like you, Joey Carbstrong. Maybe he doesn't want to be associated with wackos like Vegan Gains. Maybe he doesn't want his child to be raised around nuts like you. You still have a chance though, dude. You could leave this stupid cult anytime. You could leave it anytime. But you don't want to work a real job. You don't want to actually do things. You want to make your $10,000 a month on Patreon money to couch surf and stack up a bunch of dough to do nothing, right? To put out a few videos a month, to go to vegan conferences where people worship you. You want to be an idol. You want to be a fake activist. You want to be a vegan whacktivist.
Abuse. I'm not. I'm so chill. I'm so apologetic. I don't really care about the animals. I care more about my image. So I'm just going to be like disassociated from the word of vegan. Now,
again, projecting, right? Oh, Jon Venus, he doesn't care about the animals. He just cares about his looks, right? Well, Joey Carbstrong, we could flip that around. You're just pandering to all these, what's his face? Gary Yourofsky, right? Your idol, Gary Yourofsky. You and Vegan Gains idol, Gary Yourofsky. Aren't you just doing the same thing that you accuse John of doing? Oh, you just care about how you look, mate. All you care about is how you look to these kook vegan whacktivists. All you care about is how you look to these too pussy to join Antifa vegan dorks like Gary Yourofsky like Paul Bashir and all the rest of your anonymous voice for the voiceless whack jobs, right? You are exactly what you claim Jon is, except your vanity isn't about having muscles. Your vanity isn't about being fit. Your vanity is about pretending like you are so righteous, like you're so above all these other vegans, because you'll just die and wither away for the animals. Right? You'll be perpetually mentally and physically ill for the animals. That's your vanity. It's the same thing, dude. It's the same freaking thing. And what's on his neck? He always wears that same necklace. What is that? All right, so it's the 38-minute video. Joey Carbstrong. We're not going to watch the whole thing. Let's skip into 21 minutes in. Let's see where he's at here.
European, magical diet all the time. It's those people who are so focused on, the raw lifestyle and fasting and having this optimal utopian vision.
Oh, okay, so Jon Venus, not into raw, not into fasting. He even ate some vegan junk food. He tried to eat mostly whole foods, plant-based, but ate a lot of random junk food and stuff too. What are you talking about? That's not Jon Venus. Someone says it's his rape whistle. His whistle. It's ripe whistle. It's ripe. R-I-P-E. That's how Joey spells it.
They're the people who fall off. I've seen it time and time again. All the ex-vegans that were focusing on some optimal health, like, I've got to be some amazing picture of health. The truth is, you'll never get there. You see?
Yeah, you'll never get there on a vegan diet, exactly. You'll never even be moderately healthy. You'll never even be a little bit healthy. You're going to feel like this dude. You're going to feel like he looks. You're going to feel like Vegan Gains looks. All right, so Joey Carbstrong, I don't know. So if you're trying to be healthy, you're not really a vegan. Let's see what other mental gymnastics he does.
Vegan or vegetarian diets.
Vegan Gains.
Oh, he references Vegan Gains. What a surprise.
Very well versed in health research, much more trusting than Jon Venus when it comes to, reviewing data and things like that. So I would go...
The science. Vegan Gains knows the science.
Check out Vegan Gains' video, which I'll leave a link down below, and you can just watch his rebuttal.
I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this. I've done this, several times in the past. And I just don't care.
You just don't care. You've said that before.
My closest friends.
No, he actually doesn't care now, Joey. He doesn't care. Your 38-minute video, Jon Venus is going to pick this up. He's going to watch it. He's going to laugh at it. He's going to hang out with his kid. He's going to eat a steak and think about how pathetic you are. He doesn't care. He legitimately doesn't care. Why would anybody care? Jon Venus has a child. Jon Venus has a woman who wants to raise his child. Hopefully they have more kids, right? Jon Venus has a life ahead of him. Aside from your stupid ass cult, dude. He legitimately probably doesn't care what you say. And he legitimately probably is sick of seeing your crazy glaring eyes and your tense ass body language. He doesn't care. Why would he care?
Just people just thinking you're just a dishonest liar, and they're just basically just whatever fake they did have.
Malfunction. I can't stop shaking.
But they just probably have lost again anyway, and they're not going to be too surprised, because that's what happens, mate. If you expose some level of dishonesty, if you start. He's
not being dishonest. He's been honest the whole time. Dishonesty. Oh, you're dishonest. He's been honest. He says he doesn't want to be vegan. He's done with it. He was in his own... It's funny because even in his own little way, at times I thought it was pathetic, right? He was pandering to the vegans. He was being honest, though. He said, look, I ate some eggs. He made his struggle semi-public. He's more honest than you are, dude, with what you're doing. Harvesting your $7,000 a month of Patreon money so you can go smoke weed with Gary Yourofsky. Maybe you don't smoke weed anymore, right? I don't know. Your buddy, Paul Bashir, also harvesting his audience for Patreon bucks so he can go smoke weed with Gary.
Making up bullshit excuses. People are just going to lose.
Bullshit excuses? No. He wants his kid to be healthy. He doesn't want his kid to end up like you. He doesn't want his kid to be around people like you, like Vegan Gains. He doesn't want his kid to become that. He doesn't want to become that. He wants to stand up and be a real man. He wants to stand up and not starve himself and not pretend like he's some sort of enlightened activist that's going to save the animals that all eat each other.
Respect for you.
I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this. I've done this, several times in the past.
And it's interesting how, he says, I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this, but he hid my comment on his video. And the reason I know he hid it is because I left the comment on his video and it didn't have any likes, but...
Here's his comment. Go to a slaughterhouse and apologize to the animals instead of your fucking following. Ooh, Joey Cobstrong. This grown-ass man is so worried about another grown-ass man eating animal foods like 97% of the population of the world. This is so pathetic. Why are we talking about this? Can't we just laugh about Justin Trudeau? Can't we go back to laughing at the riots? We don't laugh at the riots, right? But let's just go back to laughing at Nancy Pelosi. Why do we have to watch this dork? All right, I'm done with you. Joey Carbstrong, come on the channel, debate me. You get one more thing to say. Let's see. Let's jump forward. Let's see what he has to say.
Doing the right thing. It's just all a facade.
I have no apologies to give to anyone. I think that
the only time he's ever been unapologetic. Yeah. So this is what triggers him the most. He says, I'm not going to apologize to you. I'm not going to apologize to you. I won't apologize, he says.
A very, very good thing.
Why don't you apologize to the fucking animals?
And I think that you...
Because they don't speak English. You fucking idiot. Vander Blake sends 5 pounds. 5 pounds. Dude, it's way past your bedtime. It's like 6 in the morning over there. It's like 6 in the morning there. Come on, man. Get some rest. Thank you for the super chat. It says, enjoying the live, man. All the laughs. Do you have any reliable sources for info on... jabby happy medicines and any of your own thoughts? Check out Del Bigtree. Read the dang inserts. Del Bigtree's channel. That's a good place to start. It's a good place to start. So thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that.
You guys, are in for a very interesting journey ahead if you want to follow along.
You guys are in for a very interesting journey if you want to follow along. See, it's all a ploy to get more views and get people to...
Okay, so it's funny how these... All right, let's let Joey finish his thought, though.
Just to the fucking animals.
And I think that you guys...
Tell you why I follow along. See, it's all a ploy to get more views and get people to... I'm not vegan. I'm not going to tell you why I'm not vegan. I'm going to keep that private, even though nothing else in my life is private. Look, I literally had to make this video just to disassociate from him. I take back anything that I said. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was wrong. I'm sorry for that.
Shame. 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 Oh, it's just a ploy to get more views, more projection, right? All your shit's about views, dude. You think he's throwing away his YouTube channel? This is what you don't understand. If this dude had just stayed vegan, he could still be the prince of veganism, the shining example of how you can build muscle on a vegan diet. He's over it. He's over you. He's over Vegan Gains. He's over your whole scene. And eventually you're going to get over it too, but it's probably going to take your Patreon money drying out or you becoming so freaking disgustingly ill that you finally give in and give up your stupid clinging on to this ideology to get your health back. It seems like John never even got to that space. And see, I don't know why John went non-vegan. Even though I've talked to him, I told you guys, I've talked to him behind the scenes, but he hasn't revealed anything to me that he hasn't talked about in his videos here. I don't know why he did it. It's amazing how these people project, right? Oh, he just wants views. Sure, he'll get some views on that one video from all these people that hate him, who are they're going to unsub from his channel, who are going to try to haunt him online as long as they can, who are going to project all their hangriness onto him. This isn't like some career move for Jon Venus, like, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money. If Jon Venus wanted to make a bunch of money, he'd do what his brother Leo Penis did. He'd add a P to the name, he'd get his MD, and he'd become the handsome version of Dr. Greger. That's what he would do if he just wanted money. If he just wanted money, he'd get on some steroids, right? Get ridiculously jacked, like Mike O'Hearn, jacked and shredded, and tell you guys that he's a vegan. That's what he would do. He's not doing this for views and money. This is hurting his business.
I'm in this for the animals. I'm not in this for these selfish, half plant-based, animal-abusing apologists who care more about, the way they look than the way...
Still saying the same thing. He said the same thing like 5 times. All right, we're done with him. We're done with Joey Carbstrong. Can we stomach a little bit of vegan gains? I guess we have to. He's in the thumb. Let's listen to a little bit of what Vegan Gains has to say. Maybe a couple minutes. Let's listen to what Richard has to say.
Hi everyone. So it's
Hi everyone. Him and Sphere start out the same, right? Hi everybody. Hi everyone. Instead of just like dead eyes and like dead internals, Vegan Gains goes for the dead eyes, dead internals, intense and angry. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. So it's no secret that I don't like Jon Venus. In fact, I can't stand him. I've known for a long time now that the guy is a manipulative liar who honestly told you guys that he ate 3 eggs and confessed his sins of eating 3 eggs before he left your cult. Who's tried to be honest with you guys, right? Like, look, it's so funny. He's a liar. He's a liar. All right, let's skip ahead. Let's go. Here we go. 3 minutes in. So it starts out, John's a liar. He's having doubts about some of the things he's learned about nutrition, like, oh, I read this study and it says one thing, I read another study, it says another thing, it's far too confusing for me. Well, John, you have a much smarter, better-looking brother who also happens to be a medical doctor who's vegan. Maybe if you're confused about research, you can go and ask him. But instead of doing that, no, you decided to do some sort of stupid experiment where you ate eggs for no other reason than to see if it just made you feel better.
I had nice...
He had 3 eggs. And he confessed it. So you guys you have to watch the Vegan Gains stream with Jon Venus and then the stream with myself and Bobby and John. All right, so he's still mad about the eggs. Let's skip forward. Let's go to the end.
As a personal experiences because of my real life observations and, nutrient deficiencies in people that are very, very close to me. And I don't want to give any personal information, so I'm not going to talk in detail.
He's not even trying to make an example. He's not even trying to be like, look, here's why you shouldn't go vegan. He's just like, I'm not doing it. I don't know what he saw. Was there something with his kid? I don't know. Did his kid have the shits? Did his kid have a bunch of diarrhea? Did his kid have tooth issues, which we see a lot in vegans? Who knows? Was it him personally? I don't know. But he saw things and he's done with it. He's done with these vegans. They can't handle it though. He must be lying. He wants the money. Jon Venus wants money and he's a liar. Okay, John, look, show me the science. That's not even his argument. He's just saying, look, I don't buy into the scientific arguments, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm done. And I've seen things around me personally, but I'm not going to get into it. He's not trying to give them any slack, any rope to hang them with, but they're clutching onto the little pieces of spider web that he did lay out there to try and lynch him with it, to try and hang him up by the street lights with it. This is how pathetic these people are. And I told John before, back when he came onto the stream, after he ate those eggs, dude, look how these people will eat you up. Look how these people eat their own. Look how much these people hate you. And you're pandering to them, and they still hate you. Okay, John, well, that's outside the scope of our conversation.
About any of that, and I just don't want to be responsible or even seem like I am saying that this is the better way for kids to grow up. And
this kind of seems like his kind of pussyfooting way of saying he thinks veganism sucks now. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. It's like he's kind of seen that veganism is completely whack at this point.
If I don't feel comfortable with my kid being vegan, I cannot continue that lifestyle myself.
Again, none of this makes sense, and it's all...
None of this makes sense because you don't have a kid. I'm sorry, kids are baby goats. I try not to use that word. You don't have a child, and you hate children, and you hate human beings. So of course this doesn't make sense to you. This is another man telling you honestly, he doesn't care anymore. And you're going to jump all around and do all these mental gymnastics to talk about, oh, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Of course it doesn't make sense. It can't make sense to you. It can't make sense to you at all. All right. Jade Masquerade sends $2 super chat. Says, thanks for the lulz. I love the hashtag good global citizen vids. Right on. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. You guys want to keep going? You guys want more? I mean, there's so many videos. Look at this. Let's do a refresh. Jon Venus. And we'll filter today. Let's filter it for today. Look at all these videos. Joey Carbstrong. We already talked about Leo Penis. We've got... You remember when I said that hench herbivore looks like a washed up bouncer? He actually is a washed up bouncer. I didn't realize that. How funny is that? Look at all these videos. Banana Blondie. Skinny Vegan Fitness. We had Skinny Vegan Fitness on the other day. He was all right. He probably won't be vegan in a few years. Look at all these. Oh, they're so mad. They're so mad. Look, even Fwank to Fanal. Why is he triggered? Even Fwank to Fanal triggered. Will Clown Venus join the carnivores? Fwanky Stinky Fingers to Fanal. To Fanus. Oh, man. Shout out to Fwank to Fanus. The lickiest lips in the West. Or the East. He's on the East Coast. Slanging lips. Slanging booty. He's mad, I guess. Calls Jon Venus a clown. Okay. We've got... Ooh, I mean, look at... No more results. Okay, so that's not that many. Abbas Leciel. Eisel. Vegan foot soldier. There we go. We got all the vegans have put out videos about Jon Venus. Happy, healthy, heathen. Oh, not vegan. Where's happy, healthy, vegan? I know he did one. Let's find it. There we go. Happy, healthy, vegan. There we go. I watched a couple minutes of this one. I skipped around on it a little bit earlier. I love this guy. This guy's my favorite. We're done with you, vegan gains. We get it. You're sad. You're hangry. You're mad. You're gray. You're inflamed. Here we go.
Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So when I got up today, I saw on social media that Jon Venus made a video about himself being no longer vegan. And I remember he made a video similar to this last year where he was considering eating eggs and he didn't. And I didn't make a video about it because he didn't ever quit being vegan. But this time apparently so, and he's serious. So I haven't watched this video yet, so we're gonna watch here. For me, is my initial reaction to it. So let's jump into it.
I'm not here to judge you for doing whatever you feel is right for you, your family, and your community. I'm not here to tell you what is objectively right or what is wrong. And I'm not here to listen to your, arguments and to your opinions either.
Well, what it sounds like Jon is already saying here is that his mind is already 100% made up, and nothing that...
Sounds like what Jon is saying here is, I'm not going to convince him to go back to vegan, so I guess I might as well just try and discredit him.
Anyone may say to him will have any effect upon him. Interesting.
I am just here to tell you guys my experiences, my shift in perspective, my new life choice. The best way to start this is talking about when this whole question mark started coming into my life. When
he's like scared to tell everybody, right? He's kind of nervous. Here, all right, all you future ex-vegans watching this, which is every single person that's making these response videos, you're all future ex-vegans. All of you are eventually going to leave. All of you are eventually going to leave. It's hard to tell if Jon is trying to like play into is he trying to act a little bit apologetic, or does he genuinely feel a little bit afraid? I don't know. Here's a little word of advice. Don't apologize. Don't be apologetic at all. Don't be apologetic at all. Don't give them an inch. Don't explain yourself. Here's the best way to go unvegan, right? You've been a vegan YouTuber. You've been promoting veganism. You're going to come out as vegan or trans vegan. My advice to you, don't come out as trans vegan yet. Your family, the vegan community, nobody will accept you, right? I've experienced so much trans vegan phobia. The transphobia, especially in YouTube, even YouTube itself, highly transphobic. But if you are going to come out as not vegan anymore, come out as not being vegan any longer, no longer vegan. Here, let's resize this video. Here's how to do it. Don't be apologetic at all. Don't even explain yourself. Don't even say you're not vegan anymore. Put out like a vlog video of you eating animal foods. Just eat animal foods on film. Eat animal foods on camera. Make a vlog of you eating good quality animal foods with your family, with your happy family. Don't even say anything about it. Just close-ups of steak with butter, right? Some egg yolks, right? Some good, you breaking that egg yolk open and seeing the egg yolk run out. Raw milk. Just show you eating animal foods. And don't say shit. Say nothing. And don't apologize. And just show yourself eating animal foods, enjoying it. You smile. Satisfied look. You're sitting by the fire. You're eating your steak. And then you're done. Right? Fade to black. Say nothing. Don't apologize. Don't explain yourself. Take a bite of the steak. Middle finger to the camera. And then fade to black. Roll credits. You're done. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Then they have nothing. They have nothing. And so Jon it seems like Jon's kind of trying to almost pussyfoot around it. If I was Jon, I would advise Jon. If I could go back in time, if I could send Jon Venus a time machine via Amazon Prime, send him the time machine, go back in time. He's not kneeling now, right? He's not kneeling now, but he is kind of, there's a little bit of like I don't want to, I'm not saying you shouldn't do veganism. I'm not saying, screw all that. Just eat your good quality foods on camera. Eat a steak with butter. Come over here to the chat. What's up, guys? C. George says you might make fun of him, but he'll totally school you in b-ball. That is right. Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan. He's also got a really cool whammy bar. Huh. And he puts his bong away so it's not on camera. Ryan. You guys realize that Ryan's running for some sort of an office in like Malibu. He wants to be like a Malibu city councilman or something. So yeah, that is true. Coffee Bean says Ryan looking very butch. I agree. He's looking butch. He's looking super butch. Coffee Bean, that's a good comment. I don't know. That's really subtly funny. I like that. Jon Venus is coming to gang stalk me. He's already joining the cult. Frank. Another one. Jon Venus is joining the traffic lights and the carnivores and the other vegans and the Freemasons who are all stalking gangs, and his mom and his dad and his family. They're all Freemason gang stalkers. You guys have some funny comments. I suffer depression, brain fog, and gluten intolerance, get blister-like bubbles on my hand and feet. And when I started researching, it seemed like carnivore was the best option, says somebody. Look, it's worth a try. It's an elimination diet. Carnivore is an elimination diet where you're removing all possible irritants. And then you can grow from there. All right, so that might be a good way to go. Ryan is jacked, says take off your blinkers. I know. He's woke too. Jacked, woke, talented, vegan.
Became a dad, and even before, when we were pregnant, a lot of responsibility came into my life. A lot of difficult questions that I had to, answer, different kind of philosophical ideas that I had to think through. And
all right, so apparently John had a kid, and as a result of that, he had philosophical...
he didn't have a baby goat, he had a child.
Questions that entered his mind that have led him to not be vegan? I can't even...
I can't
imagine.
I can't even imagine.
John had a kid, and as a result of that, he had philosophical questions that entered his mind that have led him to not be vegan? I can't even imagine.
Oh, fake confusion, bro. Whoa, Ryan. Whoa, I know you can't even imagine because you don't have a child, bro. I can't even imagine. I can't even stop long enough to think about this rationally. Let's move on. John, BTFO, bro. Whoa. Whammy bar. Whoa, dude. I can't freaking imagine. You know what, Ryan? You can't imagine probably because you're stuck in your stupid ass ideology. You don't have a child. You don't want children. You probably think having children is bad for the planet because you're vegan. You don't want to imagine. You can't empathize. He had a child and he doesn't want his child to grow up to be like Joey Carbstrong with his wild eyes of vegan gains, with his everything. Or you, Ryan. He doesn't want his child to grow up around dorks like you. Brandon, what's up, dude? Brandon sends $10 super chat. Says, been steadily raising testosterone levels back to a normal range since eating carnivore and taking a few supplements. Love you, brother. Trans vegans unite. There we go. We got another trans vegan activist here. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. You guys super chats, they keep this going. You guys want more streams? Send them super chats. I appreciate the help. I appreciate you not being a trans vegan phobe. Right? I'm pretty sure Ryan is also trans vegan phobic. Vegan Gains, trans vegan phobe. Joey Carbstrong, trans vegan phobe. Leo Penis, trans vegan phobe. Those who send super chats, not trans vegan phobes, not racist.
And I think we can all agree, or people who have looked into the scientific literature, we can agree that nutrition itself is a very confusing and not really understood topic. And it is, understood to a certain degree, but there are very many question marks. So,
all right, I think he's going for some kind of relativism here. At first I thought, since you said...
relativism here. Oh, aren't you a moral relativist? Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan with his whammy bar. Aren't you a moral relativist, bro? All you vegans are moral relativists. That's how you all ground your morality. You manipulate people into feeling guilty about being vegan. You use effeminate emotional manipulation techniques to tell people that it's wrong to eat animal foods. And you're moral relativists. That's your shtick. That's how you do it.
I'm a philosophy.
So he's not going for relativism. What John was saying is that he doesn't buy into the trading studies. My studies beat your studies. Oh, his brother is Leo Venus. How can you not see through the veil? Imagine your brother's Leo Venus. Of course you're not going to be vegan anymore. Andrew Herb sends $2, says, John using Venus brand female razors. Come on now. Be nice to John. 6 months ago for sure. 6 months ago for sure. We got to give John some credit now though, right? He's standing up for his kid. He's saying, screw you guys. In his, albeit a little bit weaker than I would have liked to have seen. A lot weaker than I would have liked to have seen in his own way. He's standing up against these guys. And he did stand up to vegan gains even before he left veganism. That was when it all went downhill, right? So Venus brand female raisers. Back to Butch Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan.
Philosophical questions. He was disagreeing with the moral principle of veganism. It's a philosophical issue. You either agree or disagree with the statement.
Philosophical issue. It's a philosophical issue. That's right. It is. It's a metaphysical issue. It's a religious issue. It's an issue of dogma. And everybody has dogma. And dogma isn't inherently bad. It's not shameful to have dogma. Every single person in the world has dogmas. Every single person in the world has presuppositions at the foundation of their worldview that inform what they will accept as truth, what they will accept as what's right and wrong, including you. So here he is admitting it's not about a diet, it's about religion.
That it's immoral to torture and kill animals.
Torture and kill? Who's torturing animals, dude? Who's torturing animals? This is the funny thing. All right, when I wake up in the morning, guess what happens? I take care of my animals. From the time I wake up, from the time I go to bed, I am concerned with the well-being. As these vegans love to reference well-being, I am concerned with the well-being of my animals. I am taking care of my animals. I'm caring for them. I wake up in the morning. I make sure that my cattle, I make sure my dairy cows have good fresh pasture. I make sure they have salt, they have good water, that they're protected from predators, right? From external predators that are other animals that will eat them, and also from predators like you and Joey Carbstrong. Well, you're not a real vegan activist. You just wear your cute t-shirts and make your videos, right? But guys like Joey Carbstrong, who will actually put on their little fake Antifa outfits and go out there and try and raid farms and terrorize farmers. Guys like Earthling Ed. I dare you to come to my house, you vegan whacktivist. We're here to protect them. Not that there are vegan activists in the third world. Not that there are vegan activists where we live here in Ecuador. All right? But we protect those animals. We feed them. We make sure they're safe. And we milk those cows every single day because they produce an exorbitant amount of milk that their calf can't even drink all of it. Their calf cannot drink all the milk they produce. We milk those animals every single day. We take care of them because we care about the animals. You think we torture the animals? You think we wake up and stick hot irons on the animals' teats to make the milk come out? Like, oh, mate, you got to wake up and ripe the cows, mate. Oh, Joey Carbstrong, you wake up and you got to ripe them cows. You ripe them. The bananas are ripe. The peaches are ripe on the trees. And you ripe the cows. No, that's not how it works. We take care of these animals. And they provide us food. We provide them with shelter, pasture, protection. Nobody's torturing these animals. You don't torture an animal. You take care of it. You know what's torturous? The way these animals treat themselves, treat each other in the wild. You know what's torturous? The way a lion will eat an animal alive from its guts up. Shoot, sometimes from its butt up. You people are so disconnected. This dude Ryan lives in Malibu. This dude lives in Malibu, California, where like Will Smith and Mel Gibson live, right? All right. Watch a couple more minutes of Ryan and we'll move on.
For food, clothing, or any other purpose. But it sounds like that's not a problem for him. He's looking at nutrition somehow. Let's see.
You take a study and you use that study to come to a conclusion, but then another person with a whole another opinion will take that same exact study and come to the opposite conclusion to someone else. A lot of times when you're vegan...
Right, so it's like a not very eloquent way of saying, no, the science is not settled, you freaking dorks. It's a very not eloquent way of saying, yeah, my brother is Leo Venus. And he just sits there and says, the science, I'm a doctor. And I see through it because he's my brother. Come on.
Wait, so John, you're going for some kind of relativism here, saying, yeah, well, there's different ways of looking at things. Some people see a study and conclude it's good for vegan. Others conclude it's bad for vegan. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
There's such a thing as the preponderance of evidence and the preponderance of the science.
The preponderance. Hey, Ryan from Healthy Happy Vegan. Define preponderance, please. Define that stupid ass word that you just used. You have no idea what you're talking about. You think because you could throw out a 3-syllable word that you just BTFO'd all vegan rebuttals? Come on, dude.
Scientific research shows clearly that eating a plant-based diet, a vegan diet, is healthy for you. Sure, there's some outlier studies and some well-funded studies by the meat and dairy industries that say something else, but...
All right, so let's skip forward. So all the science that says that veganism isn't bad is, it's fake. It's the meat and dairy industries. Or the preponderance of evidence.
Yeah, there's some jerk vegans out there. There's some jerk carnivores, jerk Mediterranean diets. There's just jerks of all kinds out there. So you're really saying that another reason, like you're just giving a bunch of
you can just skip between any point of the video, and it's just the same thing. It's all
excuses. We're saying enough to do with being vegan.
I have had
about the science showing the healthfulness of vegan diets for infants and children. Okay, let's give him that. Let's just say that word true, which it's not, but let's just give him that. He's concluding from that he doesn't want to be vegan any longer. That doesn't follow. If really, John, you can still be...
Really, John. So, hey, Ryan, another example. Great video, Ryan. Ryan, from Happy Healthy Vegan. Ryan, you just made an awesome video showing exactly why John doesn't want to be vegan. He's got a child. He's got a wife. He's got a family. He has a life outside of veganism. He's got a life outside of veganism. He doesn't want his kid to grow up around dorks like you. There's just another... You've given a perfect example of why nobody should be vegan. You're a freaking dork. You're a politician, dude. Ryan, here. Open invitation. Ryan, happy, healthy, vegan. Come on the channel. Come on. Let's have a conversation. We can debate or we can just talk. You can come on. Joey Carbstrong, you can come on. Vegan Gains, you can come on. All you vegans can come on. Every one of you. You're all welcome to come on. What we should do is we'll get John on. Maybe we could do call-ins. We can get Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan. We could Joey Carbstrong and talk about the ripists. You're ripe. You're a ripe banana. The banana's ripe. The peaches are ripe on the tree. The grapes are ripe when you eat them. You're ripe, the cow. Come on. Let's talk. You guys can all come on. But I'm telling you, you're not making a good... You're not making an argument. All you're doing is scrambling to try to discredit Jon Venus. And it's pathetic. It's freaking pathetic. All right, look at these videos that get recommended. I don't even watch The Fighter and the Kid, dude. This guy Brendan Schaub is so freaking obnoxious. Why do you... I'll watch Revenge of the Sis make fun of Brendan Schaub, and maybe that's why they try to get me to watch the Brendan Schaub videos. All right, so who's this guy? We've got Vegan Cronish. He's also mad. We've got this guy's mad. He only had 1 view. We should give him more views. 131 now. That's good. There's just... Look at all these. We already watched Joey. Good old Joey Carbstrong. Soy boy. This has nothing to do with it, but this is just... Here we go. Another example of why Jon Venus doesn't want to be a vegan. These are your peers if you want to join the vegangelical community. Jon Venus, leaving the cult. All right, it's been like 3 hours of streaming. Let me come over here to the chat. What's up, chat? We got a bunch of laughy faces there. Plant-based. What do you guys think? You going to be on the plant-based diet? With Ryan from Happy Healthy. Plant-based vegan. Ripe! It's ripe. I only eat the avocado. I only eat the avocados when they're ripe. I eat a ripe avocados before I ripe. Eat a ripe avocado, and then I ripe my cow in the morning. These people. This is the best thing that happened to vegan YouTube in so long. Oh, look at that. At least I get recommended my own video. Joe Rogan. Tucker. All right. There we go. At least there we go. Orthodox Survival Course. There we go. That's a good recommendation. Thank you. DB said it's 10 Canadians. Wow. 10 Canadians from occupied territory up in Justin Trudeau's Canada. We're getting a super chat from Canada, everybody. I thought, who would have thought that Canada would be sending super chats? Where is, let's pull back up. Where's Justin? Here you go. The Canadian super chats. Here we go. Here we go. Pulling up your fearless leader, Justin Trudeau. Heil, Justin. DB sent in Canadian $10, says your voice impressions of the whiny vegans are spot on. Right on. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. When you don't know the difference between ripe and coffee bean. What's up? Courtney Shoemaker, thank you for the laughs. I'm glad you're laughing. Glad you're laughing. Let's read some of these chats here. You guys got any more super chats? Make sure to support the streams. Appreciate all you guys' support. If you do want our support as well, the best way to do that is to check out our membership site. Become a member at primaledgehealth.com. We're going to do the next live coaching call. It's probably going to be on Thursday. I think it's going to be Thursday or Friday this week. We do weekly coaching calls. We try to accommodate. We stagger the time sometimes. We know we've got some Australian members. For the Australian members, it can be hard to link up with. But we'll usually do those in the afternoon on my time. So then that means it's in the morning Australian time. So become a member, primaledgehealth.com. Get in on the coaching calls. We do weekly coaching calls. And we have an awesome forum with a community of like-minded people. Justin Trudeau is a member of primaledgehealth.com. He comes to the coaching calls regularly. Dr. Greger is a member. Where is he? Dr. Greger right there. You can see him. This girl, she's on the juice, by the way. Like people keep saying that like he's getting out-angled by a 9-year-old. We've been laughing at this photo for a few years, but that girl is on the steroids, right? She's on the juice, mate. She's on the juice. She's on the gear. That girl's on the gear, mate. Darian Reuter is confirmed that she is on the gear. She's a fake natty. Full natty bra. On the gear, mate. Dr. Greger. Who else? Dr. Greger is a member. Not a member. Justin Trudeau is there. Ellen DeGeneres, also a member of primaledgehealth.com. She's a huge fan. Greta Thunberg, she's a member. She makes it to the weekly coaching calls. So you guys can become a member at primaledgehealth.com. Those weekly coaching calls, we talk about nutrition. Can help you dial in your diet. It's been a while since the nutrition videos, it gets old, right? I've got a back catalog of several hundred. I think I've got at least 1,000 videos on this channel. I'll have to check. I think I've got 1,000 videos on this channel. I know somebody was complaining earlier, where's your keto videos? Would you want me to rehash the same stuff over and over again? There's no more to be said. If you want help with your diet, If you want to dial in your diet and your lifestyle, you can become a member, get in on the weekly coaching calls, or you can hit us up for private coaching. If you just want to support the stream here, sending super chats, it does support. But of course, YouTube takes 30%. So a better way to support is, here, I'll throw a link up there. You got a donate page. We might have to do Streamlabs at some time in the near future. Farm videos, that's fun. We'll do that. We'll do some more of that. We'll do some more vlog videos, farm videos. We've actually been working really hard at building up the website lately. So we have not been building up our little homestead as much as we want to. But that's coming. We'll do an update. We'll do an update soon. That's what's cool. We work really hard so that we can support our farming habit. We work so hard so we can support our farming addiction. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just like most of the family farms in the U.S., it's part-time. All right, so we've got, right now, I'm going to break down what we got going on. Right now, we've got 4 dairy cows. We have one dairy cow that I really miss her. Her name's Floor. I'm going to bring her up here soon. She's down at the neighbor's property with a bunch of bulls. She'll get pregnant soon. Her offspring is probably not going to be the greatest dairy cow because there's a bunch of different males with her. We don't know which one's gonna knock her up, but she'll get knocked up soon. And she was crazy. We tried to bring her about half a mile away in the mountains to another property. She broke through like 5 fences, jumped out of these fences, and ran down to the river, and then ended up down below at our neighbor's property with a bunch of bulls. And we said, you could just stay there. So Floor, she is half, not even half. She's about, I think she's like maybe, let's say half. Let's say 50% Gyr, Gyr, which is like an Indian breed from India, and about half brown Swiss. She's so beautiful, and she's been growing a lot. I'm going to have to go see her soon. I haven't seen her in like a month, but she's going to come up here soon. She'll probably be pregnant. We've got the one we're milking now, Linda. She's really cool. We're milking her now. And here, let's pull out Justin Trudeau. Sorry, guys, I'm traumatizing you with a Justin Trudeau picture. We've got Linda. We're milking her right now. And she gives about, depending on the day, about 7 to 8 liters per day. And she's kind of decreasing her production. And she's really cool. Her calf, we call him Joey. Jessica named him Joey. He's kind of, because he used to be really hoppy. He would hop around when he was a calf. He's not named after Joey Carbstrong, but we can pretend he is. But he would hop around like a Joey, like a little kangaroo. And Joey's he's 5 months right now. And when he's 6 months, we'll start to wean him, and then we're going to put him on another property and separate him. And then she'll probably dry up after a few months after that. We need to get her pregnant. She might be pregnant now. She might not be. I think she goes into heat around the full moon. So yeah, all of our cows have names. All of our sheep have names. I don't know all the sheep's names. My daughter does. Some of the chickens have names. So we've got, anyways, I'm babbling. I'm rambling. I'm meandering. 4 dairy cows. 3 are here. 1 is away from here at our neighbors. 2 are pregnant. 1 is going to give birth within a week. That I cannot wait for that, for the colostrum from her. The one that's pregnant, her name is Dolly, and she's so fat. She's so fat. She's like, she couldn't even fit through that door. She is massive. She's a brown Swiss. Almost pure brown Swiss. Her name's Dolly. I don't know why her name is Dolly. That's just Ariana named her. Linda is named Linda porque está muy bonita. Linda es una vaca bonitísima. And Linda means basically pretty in Spanish. So Ariana named her as well because she thought she was muy linda. Lindísima. So that's why she's named Linda. Ari named Flor because, I don't know, she just likes flowers because it's a flower, Flor. And Flor is really special. Flor's a pain in the ass, though. Flor is, we'll see how Flor goes when we get her back here. But she is, I miss her. She's the biggest pain in the ass cow, but she's the coolest cow. She's beautiful. She's the one that's kind of orange. She's like orange and she has these big floppy ears because of the gear in her. And she should give really good milk, but we're going to have to bring her back up here. Maybe in like, I don't know, we might bring her back up here sooner just because we want her to calm down and get really used to us. And then, yeah, so stop saying Dolly's going to have twins, Bowerbird. You're about to get banned, dude. You are about to get banned. Unless you, Bowerbird, unless somebody sends a super chat to appease me, you will be banned. She is not going to have twins. You know nothing, Jon Snow. If she has twins, one of those is going to carnival. If she has twins, one of them is immediately going to carnival who's going to bottle feed her. Or him. Or if it's twins, we might just slaughter right away. Like literally right away because colostrum is amazing. And I want some colostrum. I love colostrum. Stop saying she's going to have twins. You're about to get banned. All right, so we've got, yeah, Dolly's going to give birth, not twins. If it's twins, I'm pissed. And Carnival's getting one of them right away. We're not feeding her. Oh, that's my milk. My cow, my milk. Twins are a nightmare, exactly. She better not have twins. You're ruining my night, Bowerbird. Get some rennet, bro. Exactly. We'll get that rennet. If it's twins, we're getting rennet right away. Or it's going to if Carnival wants it, it's going right away. But it's not getting colostrum. He's going to have to find some colostrum and get it to him. Where's Carnival? You bailed out, dude. You were here like 3 hours ago. Carnival couldn't hang for 4 hours. He's got a life to live. So yeah, all right. Anyways, we got her. We got another one named Dolly, and she's a brown Swiss with what's it called? Sorry, I'm really tired. It's like 10:30. It's been 3.5 hours of streaming. She Rosa. We've got Dolly. We've got Rosa. Rosa is Ari named her as well. I don't know why. Rosa because roses are pretty. She likes roses. Rosa is brown Swiss mixed with Brahmin. She's a Brahmin, and she's a little sketchy. I can touch her face, right? Like I go walk up to her face, and she tosses her around. But if I come up to her side, then she immediately comes back this way. Triplets, Colossus, you're banned. Okay, you're banned. You're banned. I'm sorry. But yeah, Rosa, she doesn't want me to touch her side. I don't know. She's a little sketchy. So if she doesn't let me milk her, I'm going to be really pissed. I'm going to be really, really pissed because she comes from really good genetics and she's supposed to be a great milk cow. But I'm going to be really pissed off if she doesn't let me milk her. If she doesn't let me, she's supposed to give birth. She'll probably give birth in like 3 or 4 months. And if she doesn't let me milk her, here's my plan. I'm going to take the calf from Dolly and put her with Rosa and get all of Dolly's milk. And the calf can take all of Rosa's milk. Okay? That's what I'll do. So yeah, we've got that. Those are the cows. We've got 12 sheep. We've got something like 40 or 50 chickens. I don't know how many there are right now. They're all growing, and we've got chickens that are hatching. Anyways, we'll do a farm update video. We'll do an update video on the homestead here. What else, guys? We got 170 bigots still watching. You guys want to keep going? You know the guy dressed up as Elmo? Echo X. More information immediately. That's one of the best photos from all the riots, is the Elmo rioter. And I've got him slapping hands with, there we go, I accidentally had it off screen. He's slapping hands with Sadhguru. We didn't even watch Sadhguru. We'll check out Sadhguru now. You guys want to keep going? Why not, right? Why not? Got 166 bigots in the chat. Echo X, I want to hear more about the guy dressed up as Elmo immediately. If you need to email me, send me his social media. You can't put links in the chat here. Where's all my mods? All my mods have disappeared. My mods are gone. You can't put links in the chat, but I want to hear about this guy. Let's hear what Sadhguru has to say, and then we'll wrap it up. Maybe another 20 minutes.
It will be very cruel for those who are infected, who are fighting for their life. and those who lost their dear ones, to tell them nature is teaching you a lesson. It'll be very cruel to say that, I will not say such things. But this is something I've been speaking for the last 20-25 years. One important thing is the human population. I know a whole lot of people will get against me. All the religious groups, all the major religions are against me because of this one statement, and many others. See, the nature of human population, the way it's growing, in the beginning of 20th century, we were only 1.6 billion people. Today, we are inching towards 8 billion people. And the amount of things that we can do because of technological capabilities has multiplied. What 100 people would do and consume 100 years ago, today one person is consuming that much in terms of…
Oh, I will give the exact worldview of the colonialist British who have told me that their Malthusian worldview is correct, and there are too many peoples. If we get rid of all the peoples, the planet flourish. If we get rid of all the insects, planet be destroyed. Insects are more valuable than the humans. The virus go to kill the humans because there are too many of you humans. Too many of you humans. I like to do my dances among thousands of all you unnecessary people, all you extra people, you non-essential. But then at the same time, I tell you, there are too many people. Too many people. So again, is nature teaching us a lesson, right? So Sadhguru pushing this World Economic Forum / British aristocratic worldview of overpopulation, Malthusianism, Malthus, who was a fraud, total pseudoscientist. Total pseudoscience, this Malthusian ethos of there are too many people, we gotta get rid of all the people. Same thing, same old thing. So we don't even have to watch the rest of this video. Let's go over here. What is happening in America?
An enduring problem of racial…
Because Sadhguru, who lives in India with the caste system, where the police will beat the shit out of the people with sticks. He only cares so much about the Black Lives Matter in America because it's totally grassroots revolutions, totally not corporate control revolutions.
Discrimination and the reactions to that is also taking a toll on the nation at a time like this. On the basis of color, creed and caste, much suffering has been imposed, much blood has flown, too many lives have been taken. But still the problem…
Socialist Alliance, I can't breathe, right? I can't breathe. At least this person holding the I can't breathe sign is not wearing a mask this time.
Endures. Largely…
He's always got the fan blowing his beautiful white beard, right? So he's talking about in the US, it's so bad. All the police are so bad. Dude, you live in India. You're all about the caste system, dude. You wouldn't exist. You wouldn't be this guru if it weren't for the caste system. And the fact that you talk bad about creed, it make me very triggered. Because if you get rid of the insects, the planet will flourish. But if you get rid of creed and scotch taps, human beings will die. Well, I just heard the news today.
See, my life is gonna change. Man, my life begin to pray. Then tears of joy run down my face. With arms wide open inside the riots. Welcome to this place. There are no police here. With arms wide open. Antifa will protect you. I show you everything. With arms wide open. You're welcome, everybody. Welcome. Creed. Come on. Sadhguru. Don't talk about Creed, Sadhguru, or I will sing it. I'll also sing Creed. If you guys want, if you want to do super chat requests for songs, we can do that. I know two songs, and they're both Creed songs, and I know like 3 lines from each one of these Creed songs, and I will sing them for super chats.
By law, world has become equitable, largely. There are still some nations which are religious republics where by law there is discrimination. But nations have matured in terms of law or in their constitution. But many individual human beings, a substantial number of them unfortunately, refuse to evolve.
Refuse to evolve. If you do refuse to evolve, you will die. If you refuse to evolve, you are racist, bigotish, trans-vegan phobic, and you refuse to eat the kibble. We have enlightened people like Bill Gates. Bill Gates tried to give everybody happy medicines, but people refuse to evolve and accept his medicines.
And they continue the same prejudices, same discrimination, and same selective cruelty, either because of color, creed, or caste.
Again, Sadhguru, you live in India, dude. This is what goes on in India. Here's India under the lockdown that Sadhguru has been promoting for years. I'm sorry, not for years. I'm so tired, guys. For weeks, Sadhguru has been promoting lockdowns. He's been promoting lockdowns for weeks, saying this is the only way. If we lock down the whole country, we will survive the virus. We also must reduce the human population. Of course, India and Africa are Bill Gates' main goals. These are his prized population reduction areas. And Sadhguru always pushing this World Economic Forum stuff. He even goes to Davos and talks at the World Economic Forum about the need to reduce population. This is why he's so popular. This is why he gets promoted, because he's about population reduction. He pushes all of the good global citizen rhetoric. This is India. This is India on April 10th, under the lockdowns that Sadhguru promotes. People can't get food. Groceries were asked to reduce their hours. Then vegetables were to be supplied by the Indian government, which came for a day or two and then disappeared. They had killed the supply chain by stopping road traffic. Hundreds of millions are starving. This is what's happening in India. Alright, anyways. Sadhguru, everybody.
To fight for equitable laws is completely a different process. But to transform individual human beings is a totally different process. One must understand India's independence movement. Till then you must know, there was an effective apartheid process in this country. And then the civil rights movement in the United States, they fought in a different style because they were fighting against unjust laws.
Losh. We'll end it at that. No more Sadhguru. We're done with you, Sadhguru. If you want to reduce the human population, you have to reduce the number of feet. It is the only way. This guy lives in one of the most crazy caste systems in the world. Sadhguru. Sadhguru, always pushing the globalist rhetoric. But I think, yeah, I mean, the revolution does not end, guys. The revolution will be televised, will be monetized, and will be incentivized. And shoot, it'll even be idolized. It'll even be idolized. Nike, everybody. Let's check out Nike.com. Remember, this revolution brought to you by Gushers, brought to you by Fruit by the Foot, and brought to you by Nike. Come to the front page of Nike. Don't think you can't be part of the change. For once, don't do it. Don't pretend there's not a problem in America. Don't turn your back on racisms. Don't accept innocent lives being taken from us. Don't think. Oops. Don't make any more excuses. Listen, bigots. Listen to this. Don't think this doesn't affect you. Don't think it doesn't affect you. It affects you, you racist. Don't sit back and be silent. Don't sit back. You can't be silent. Silence is violence. Don't think you can't be part of the change. Let's all be part of the change. Nike, Swish. Purchase Nike products made from slave labor in China. Let's make sure. Nike's also woke on the COVID crisis too, guys. We've assembled our expert scientists, engineers, and designers to create full-face shields and powered air purifier respirator lenses to support healthcare workers. We've donated more than 140,000 pieces of footwear, apparel, and equipment globally to communities in need. We've committed more than $25 million, including more than $2 million in employee donations. So Nike is at the revolution will be televised. The revolution will be Nikeized. The revolution will feature Gushers. That's right, guys. That's right. Gushers for the revolution. Come over here to the chat. Tofu86 sends $5. Says, I ate raw beef kidney. You're right. It does taste herbaceous. But it also tasted like pee. Why? I told you not to eat raw beef kidney, you weirdo. I told you not to do that. You gotta boil it. Boil the kidney. Boil the kidney. It's way better. Boil that stuff, man. Boil it. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Tofu86. I think we got to wrap up, guys. This has been a freaking long stream. I want everybody who's watching right now, we got 150 people in the chat. I explained the Elmo guy story in the comments. Nice. I'll cruise up and I'll read it, man. You got 150 people in the chat right now. I want you all to take a knee right now. Okay? Take a knee. I want you to take a knee. Excuse me. Take a knee. I don't see you guys taking knees. Are you taking knees yet? Are you on your knee? One knee. One knee. One love. One world. Okay, take a knee and apologize to me. Apologize. Apologize to my children, my poor little Ecuadorian children. Apologize now. Now. I'm just kidding. No knees. We only take a knee for God. We only get on our knees for God. Everybody who's watching, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for the super chats. If you got anything else to say, come over here to the chat. Nobody's taking knees. All right, you guys get it. No knees. No knees. No knees. No taking knees. I'm going to fill up a nice hot bath. Take a nice hot bath, and I'm going to get some sleep. Hopefully I can sleep before 12. Staring at these bright screens at night keeps you up at night. It keeps you up late. All right, guys. I don't think anybody here is going to be kneeling anytime soon. But, yeah, it's been nice hanging out. We've had some good times. We've had some bad times. We've had some scary times. We've had some very, very heartwarming talks with Leo Venus and Ryan from Happy, Healthy, Vegan. And with vegan gains, this is out of the scope of our conversation. All right, guys. So next stream will probably be, what's today? Today's Tuesday. We might do one on Thursday. Perhaps on Thursday we'll do another stream. On Thursday we might do another stream on Thursday or Friday. We'll see what's up. We got another super chat here, though, from Carlos Bertoldi. Send in 25. Is that Rand? Is R Rand? Are you in South Africa? Do you vaccinate your cows? Vaccines are mandatory for herd animals in Ecuador. What's your thoughts on the subject? No, we don't give our cattle any vaccinations. Most people do. As far as being mandatory, I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily true. Nobody's over here force vaccinating my cows. We do not vaccinate ours. Of course, the ones we've purchased have at some point been vaccinated, right? But with the calves, we don't vaccinate. Unless you absolutely need to use veterinary medicine, we do not use them. We've used, let's see, on one of them, we've used like a thing on her hoof. She was getting bit up by these sand fleas, and so we used this copper, like paint on copper stuff. It's semi-natural copper product on her hoof, and spray this stuff called matabichos or matagusanos. They get these things called gusanos. If they get a wound, there are these crazy worm things. The flies come in, these flies lay eggs, and they grow these worms, and these worms will take over their whole body. So with one of our cows, she had a wound, the one floor. She broke through a bunch of fences, and I sprayed a wound that she had on her chest. She has this big chest flap because she's got some gear in her, and the gear have like a big, beautiful skin flap on their chest, which actually helps them to radiate heat out and stay really cool in the dry season. So I sprayed that with matagusanos because she had all these worms that were infesting this wound she had, which is crazy to think about. A few generations back, before some of these products are matabichos. Yeah, that's right, matabichos. So Coffee Bean knows. These things are crazy. They're just gnarly-ass worms, and you spray this stuff, it's like purple. It's like a violeta, color violeta, and you spray it on there, and the worms start falling out and dying. So I sprayed that on one of the cows once on her chest, and then another one had some sand fleas on her hand, and I sprayed that a couple times on her hand. The rest of them, they get nothing. We avoid the use of any chemicals that we don't absolutely need to use. We don't deworm them. We let them hopefully build up immunity to any worm situations, but most people do deworm their cows here. They're told by the reps, by the pharmaceutical reps, that they have to use it. So they use a lot of this stuff, but we don't. All right, so we, like someone was saying in the chat, cattle diseases, these cows, you want your cows to be resistant to some of these things in the environment. You want them to be resistant to the parasites that are in the natural environment. You don't want to be deworming them all the time unnecessarily, especially with stuff like, what is that stuff called? Ivermectin. Ivermectina. That stuff is really harsh. So we don't give them ivermectin or anything like that. Unless I would, if I was going to save an animal's life, I would give it whatever. Right? But they don't need a lot of the shots and stuff that they give them here. They don't need them. Although it's almost tempting sometimes because ticks, right? There's a shot that you can give them that'll keep ticks away. But what is that doing? It's making their blood toxic. And if ticks bite them, the ticks die. What is that doing to the milk you're going to drink from that animal? Right? So whereas it'd be nice to not have to pull ticks off of some of these cows all the time, it's also nice not knowing that you're not drinking whatever it is that's killing those ticks when those cows get bit by the ticks. So thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. If anybody else has any questions, you guys just keep it going with the super chats. You guys keep me awake with those super chats, but I do stay awake if you guys got more questions. But another stream probably coming on Thursday or Friday. We've got a lot to talk about, and I'm sure a lot of crazy stuff is going to happen by then. Anyways, guys, it's been fun. Vegan diet, is it optimal for health? Obviously not. Vegan diet, is it optimal for your mental health? Obviously not. Vegan diet, is it just a diet? Obviously not. These people are freaking nuts. And I'm glad to see Jon Venus leaving and taking his family away from these nutcases. Leo Venus, he doesn't have a child. It's fine. You stay in it, Leo. You be the vegan doctor, the vegan savior doctor. But at least do some debates with some of these non-vegan doctors, dude. Come on, let's do a Paul Saladino debate on this channel. That'll be fun. That'll be really fun. But yeah, Joey Carbstrong. Who else did we talk about? Everybody else. Anybody we talked about. Vegan Gains. Any of you people. You're all welcome to come on. You can come on and we can talk about it. I'll have Jon Venus on soon. Maybe we can do some call-ins with some of the vegangelicals. Maybe they can call in and talk to Jon. And, we could talk to Jon the first hour and then do vegan call-ins, and they could give him a piece of their mind the second hour. But, hey, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. This has been a fun stream. It's been way too long. And the next stream will probably be Friday, maybe even Saturday. I might have to wait a few days. But remember, if you will only reduce the human population, you can reduce the carbon footprint. But the only way to reduce the carbon footprint is to reduce the number of feet. So if you all cut off your feet or have them removed by doctors and experts like Leo Pinos, we can flourish. I will see you next time.
Trying to raise the sense of urgency around climate change.
I am not a bigot. I am ready to save the planet by doing exactly what the big banks tell the TV screens to tell us to do. I feel so empowered on my #vegan journey. Join us as we chant empty slogans for #climate action written by PR firms. We need to save the earth and demand a global totalitarian technocratic government run by big finance and the Fortune 100. Our house is on fire and we need the nice grown-up government to take everyone's land and resources and ration us delicious, sustainable, nutrient-fortified vegan kibble. This is an emergency. Mommy Earth is crying so sad because she wants the mean grown-ups to give poor little 16-year-old human shield Greta her future back.
Do you have anything to add to these debates about just, in particular, the idea that it's kind of too expensive to deal with climate change?
I mean, the money is there. If we can save the banks, then we can save the world. I mean...
Jeffrey Epstein committed suicides and was working alone. Veganism is desirable and fun and make me smile big happy on my insides. I do not hate children. I am not a science denier. I do like science. To fix the hashtag climate crisis we need to sterilize ourselves, starve ourselves, eat babies and grandma and move to a social engineered hashtag smart city to save the earth. There is no time to examine the inconsistencies in our claims or actions or the billions of dollars being leveraged to brainwash us into thinking we want this. We want hashtag climate action now and a hashtag plant-based food system of sustainable fortified kibble. We are not being used. We are truly empowered and full of energy that we are using constructively. We are so empowered and not deceived.
We all share the same values, so we just need to align those values with our actions and join forces. We all want the same thing. We want to see an Earth in the next 50 years.
The money is there. If we can save the banks, then we can save the world. I mean...